You are listening to a Dynamicworksproductions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of 2021 for the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host. I mean, it's me, it's Tim, and then that's Nate, who has been a steady sticky tack, duct tape, command strip on the wall of the Fork in Your Ear podcast.
Is this officially like a full year with the fork now at this point?
Is it? I don't know. When did you offer yourself up as?
I don't remember, but it feels like
semi-permanent, bi-weekly, full time.
It feels like right towards the end of 2020 when it was just like, when did I pay for the month?
Oh, that was 2 Septembers ago, because that was during COVID, and I was like, everything sucks. And I'm at low hours.
So September 2020, and you're like, I'm all out. And so I remember picking up a month of that, and then you going, you want to show up? I'm like, well, I paid for it, so I might as well. And then I think it was either one or two shows after that it was just like, I don't know that I'm going to keep doing these because I don't have a co-host.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might have been December of 2020, which would make this right around a year.
Well, you know what? In podcasting age, let's just call it and say this is your 1 year pod co-host anniversary.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Muddle through the words. I got it.
But yeah, no, I've been the steady rock for going on a year now for Fork in Your Ear fans, and I hope I'm doing you all well.
Yeah, I hope so too. You know, if we had more lively folks that talk to us over on our Discord, which our new mod Daniel has taken the liberty of, having been stuck for home too many days now. He has taken the liberty of detailing which of our channels, I don't know what they're fucking called, feeds, have the least activity. And he wants to prune those weeds so badly, but he's just a mod, so he can only formally give me a document that says
womp, womp.
which.
So he basically dropped a letter in the suggestion box, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, my text message.
Right.
You know, I'm just gonna read it. Just give our new mod a shout. So the least, and some of them are actually kind of shocking. I'm a little shocked, as you know, this is kind of our thing now. So the least used channels, in order of least usedness. The Purifier Award Board is the least used channel, which saddens me because I kind of like that idea as a thing. Pretty sure you and good old Burning Wing have the most awards. Probably, yes. Like, it's not even a competition. but you guys cut the most. Next is the Promote Your Shit channel, which he has a side note that says, if you don't delete this, I'm going to start taking advantage of this horribly.
Which I noticed there's a new post in there
Oh,
from
is there?
SoundCloud.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he is.
Is this his music, or is this something he's just
He
recommending?
is a musician. He
Okay.
plays all kinds of instruments. He's got drums, keyboard. I want to say he was using. I was trying to think of which DAW he uses because he's over on PC. Not Cubase. Was it Reaper? It might be Reaper.
Okay.
It's either Reaper. It's either Reaper or FL Studio. I think he's using. But he's very good. He can sing. He can play guitar. He can play all kinds of fucking instruments. He's a little ridiculous.
Well, it's in there, so that's you know what. If you're going to promote your shit in the Promote Your Shit channel,
yeah,
I will give it a listen.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
He was attempting to get me to quote unquote write an original track because he wanted to do a collab, but he wanted to test my chops, and I'm like, Daniel, we've been over this. I'm not a musician. I'm really good at remixing and producing and like putting puzzle pieces together, if you want to call it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a couple sketches, and then to my horror, I found a new problem that is going to be very long problem to fix because I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. So part of me was like, well, I've made some stuff in the past, but I don't remember how to do them. So let me pull up my old project files and, see how I did it, because I've done a lot of stuff over the years. And Logic won't play any of them. And I went,
it's too new a version, too old a file?
Oh, no. Well, so typically, Logic will play anything. It doesn't care if it's fucking old as shit or not, because it's Logic. But I'm almost wondering if because I created them on not an Apple Silicon chipset, if there is a problem since they were Intel.
No.
And I have to look into it because all it does is it says it opens it and then it doesn't do anything and then it just crashes Logic. And I'm like, that's not good. So
that's poopy.
My thought process is I'm going to have to sneakily use well, probably not sneakily. I'll just tell her. I'll have to sneakily use my wife's laptop, which is Intel.
Because it's still an Intel base?
Throw Logic on there, update it to the latest thing, and then slowly, one by one, open the project, save it in a new unit of time as whatever the new Logic file is, because I got some files going back like a decade. And in the past, this has never been a problem, and I know this because of my extensive podcast archive that I have.
Right.
That is poorly kept, and it's just a giant fucking folder full of old fucking GarageBand files and Logic tracks and shit. With the exception,
are they at least appropriately named, or are they as cryptic as that too?
Generally, the naming convention I use, I mean, I can just tell you inside baseball here. So, like, I have right now the Fork in Your Ear 12/29/21 episode 122, and in this case, I have the name because I already picked the name for this episode, which is "The Year Was 2021 ellipsis." Felt appropriate. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so I found that huge cavat, and that just killed any inspiration that I had to make any musical anything, because I'm like, well, fuck. I got a lot of project files here that I need to rescue before they become so old that I can't rescue them if indeed it's already too late, So that's the thing. Not looking forward to it. Now that I've said it out loud, I could have been using this downtime here because I'm sort of off this week to be doing that, and I have not been doing that. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's a self-imposed vacation, or is the weather not helping it as well, or?
Yes, and then I went to work today. So
They tried
I,
calling me into
I
work
don't know.
yesterday
It's a whole
and
thing.
today, and then kind of gave up on it because there's some poorly communicated aspects to that,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, we'll cut right to the chase here. I don't know. You want to spin the ring, or do you want to just get right into life?
Oh, I have no idea. We're going so off the cuff here. Like I was gonna finish the list of Discord stuff, but it doesn't matter. Fuck you, Daniel. There you go. Not even reading the rest of your list on it.
Oh, we can get back into it, but that just the long and short was, Christmas basically got canceled this year for the family.
Oh no.
Um, COVID decided to run rampant in multiple circles of friends,
Okay.
and knock out key players
Okay.
for that. So, and then with the weather being what the weather's been in Southern California, going wet, dry, hot, cold.
So usually how the
We've
weather normally is up here,
Mhm,
schizophrenic.
right.
Yeah.
And so you know that little tickle in the back of your throat, that little bit of stuffy you get when you start going through those huge swings in weather.
I don't necessarily feel that
Hey,
in weather, but
maybe you don't, but I
I
mean
feel the
general
tickle
populace,
in the
right?
back of my throat if I like have a sickness coming on,
Yeah,
which usually sends all my stuff into high alert. I'm just like, oh shit.
especially now. So yeah, we had a possible exposure on the 19th.
Okay.
My wife took the kids to her best friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a photographer that her husband, the friend's husband, works with on a regular basis. Everyone's vaccinated, everyone tested, everyone was clear, everyone had a good time, everyone came home. 2 days later, the photographer says, "Oh crap, I tested positive."
Mm.
Then the husband tested positive. Then the
Mm.
friend tested positive.
Well, are they all fine though?
They're all fine
Sure.
now. Um, Ruined their vacation in Hawaii, and
Right.
this was the funny thing is they flew out there. You have to test when you land in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Um, and they both tested fine.
Mm.
Then started to feel something, tested again, and both of them popped positive. So there was that little scare, and then of course one of my daughters decides she wants to start coughing and getting a runny nose, and we're going, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. So at that point we were like, well, I don't think we're gonna bring the kids to Christmas because we don't know if they're positive or not. Trying to find a test right now is nigh impossible.
Mm.
But I was going to go anyways because again, I wasn't direct. I didn't go to the event, so I would be third hand exposure if anything.
Mm.
And at that point, didn't feel bad or anything, like no symptoms whatsoever. Then my brother-in-law, who was hosting Christmas,
Mm.
test positive.
Okay. Well, that's crazy.
So that canceled Christmas, like all together. So yeah,
So,
that's
despite all of that, did you still have a good day?
Yeah, I mean, we made the best of it. My Jewish family, my wife and her sister and everyone on this side of the family, they're all Jewish, so Christmas doesn't really hold the same weight.
Okay.
But they made the most of, made me a nice meatloaf dinner and made sure the kids had presents to unwrap. Because my kids are one of those lucky sons of bitches that get to celebrate both holidays.
Mm. I gotcha.
And then my father decided he was going to just randomly stick his nose, and he's like, I want to drop some gifts off for the kids, and then stick around for, 30 minutes, sniffling and sneezing the entire time he was here.
Mm.
Right after spending the day over at my sister's house, where there was a positive case of COVID. It's like, are you kidding me?
Well, that
So
sounds difficult.
yeah.
Well,
So yeah, we've been keeping close eyes on everyone, and yeah, so far it seems like we happen to have a poorly timed flu
mm.
run through the house right about the same time as exposures, because nobody's and we're really, because we only have a limited amount of tests, we're making sure the kids are testing.
Sure.
Chances are if the kids are coming up clean because they're not vaccinated at all, then we're fine.
Fair enough. Well, was there more life stories you wanted to extol, since it seemed like you needed to lift that charcuterie board off of your chest there?
Charcuterie?
Charcuterie?
The hickory chicory board?
Yeah, hickory chicory. Yeah, that one.
No, I mean that's that from the last show to this one. That's basically been what's been going on because so the work thing. I get a text message from my one of my co-leads at work that says, "Is there any chance you can come into work?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? Normally I would, because I know certain projects, there's just nobody else trained on them.
Right.
So normally I would be like, yeah, you know what, you can get me for a couple hours. But I basically told him the story. It's like I'm a possible exposure risk.
Mm-hmm.
So no. Well, he didn't bother to tell our manager that.
Mm-hmm.
So the manager starts calling me up today, trying to incentivize me to come into work today, and I'm like, he leaves a voicemail, and apparently he went and talked to the co-lead, and the co-lead's like, no, he wasn't just refusing. It was this was the story, and he goes, oh. So when I talked to him later today, he's like, yeah, I didn't get the full story when I called you this morning. I apologize for the message.
Was it a nasty message?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
It was just, it was more of, if you really could, this is, for the good of the company kind of thing. Really, really trying to tug at my heartstrings. Which that's real hard to do when I'm on Christmas break.
Right.
But yeah, once he got it, it's like I'm not refusing because I'm just trying to be. I'm trying to make a point or being a dick about things. It was no, I'm not going to go in and possibly expose my coworkers until I actually get a full clear. Which yeah, I still haven't been able to get an official test for myself because the lines right now are just stupid.
Well,
so
fair enough.
yeah. No, that was my day today, and it was it's this whole week has just been a little bummed out.
Well, I'm sorry you're bummed out.
Yeah,
but at least you're probably sleeping.
No, I have children.
Well, I tried.
Which they got a healthy dose of Benadryl tonight. So they are literally sleeping like babies.
Oh, good. Well, my Christmas, apart from the snow, was chaotic and normal, but reasonably chill. It was woke up at 8, did pot of coffee because I was the dead person, did presents here, then we rushed over to the in-laws for this is a tradition at this point, for tamales and
I hate you.
more presents than I have ever seen at a person's house. It was insane. Like
there are a lot of kids in the family.
Let's see. So yes.
Okay.
So grand total at Christmas was, let's see, me, Jessica, her dad and mom, her brother, her sister, the sister baby daddy, the baby. And then they had 2 people from the baby daddy's side. So we had 10 people in total.
Well, that's not huge.
And then that 90% of the gifts was for I guess he's my nephew, the baby. So many gifts for that nephew. Holy Jesus.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Sure. Which frightens me because now I'm like, well, if I'm the golden child in relationships. And when we have a kid, that is planned.
I hope you have an SUV.
Shit. No, I don't.
Yep.
Don't have an SUV.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
gonna
even
need
have a
one for
vehicle that
Christmas.
works right now.
I'm glad that I have an SUV, which we got to haul car seats, because yeah, when we come home from Christmas, it's I've got my handful of gift cards, my
Yeah.
tin of almond roca, maybe 2 bottles of booze,
Mhm.
and then the rest of the SUV is full of toys.
Speaking of booze, which libations are being not sponsored tonight by your cup
No,
and mine?
we are not sponsored. We are not sponsored tonight by Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Mm. And I am drinking a lovely 50-50 mix of Bailey's Irish Cream and Kahlua in a mine glass that was a little Christmas set because it was $25 cheaper than the regular bottle. It came
That
with
makes
glasses.
sense.
And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the year. I couldn't believe it. I was standing there in the aisle and I go, so normal bottle, $43,
Mm-hmm.
or normal bottle
Gift
with
box.
with cups. Okay then.
Right.
So
Isn't that great?
It was so bizarre. It wasn't even on clearance. I got it like at the beginning of December too. So I was like, what?
Yeah, they're trying to move the classes and whatnot.
They're trying to get the holiday stock. And I get it. But it still surprised the shit out of me because of the price difference. But so it goes.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be $10 more because of the glassware.
Right? That's what I remember, like year over year. Because like I feel like this is a stupid like rite of passage as like getting older and I don't know, I guess attempting to adult more. And this really has nothing to do with it. But it's just like I always remember, like friends, family, and particularly like my family having like a pair of Bailey's Irish cream glasses that came in a gift set from some year.
Right.
And I was just like, well, you can't get those glasses normally, And in this year, it's like a little pottery. It's like a handleless teacup kind of situation.
Right.
So not shabby at all. But now I have a set, so now it's like, oh man, God, there's going to be a child, and the child's going to eventually probably see this set if it doesn't get broken or lost. And I don't know. There's just a weird mental gymnastics game when I think about it and whatnot. So there is that.
Oh yeah. I actually can't wait till I hear that those words come across my screen. Of so I'm gonna be a dad.
God, I can't wrap my head around it, Nate.
Yeah, you won't until you do it, and then you do it, and you go,
and probably
okay,
yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be,
and then you'll start a podcast about it.
No, I mean, I figured I'd just fucking join Debuff Dads, right? Doesn't that make me an official cast member at that point?
Yeah, it would actually. Yeah, they're actually going to start trying middle of January for number 2.
Oh, I see. Well,
so yeah, we're going to have a whole new chapter of doing it all over again.
Oh God! And then if they're trying then, and the game plan is still around this time next year, most likely after we get back from, because I think I told you this, the in-laws' plans are to take us all to Disneyland for Christmas next year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been on the books now for like a year plus now at this point. And so we're probably going in the beginning of December. So probably after we return is when the safety goal will be removed.
Right.
So that'll be
when you officially become weapons free.
I guess. Okay. So anyway, my Christmas, we went from the morning thing, and then we rushed back to our place, to which we hosted lunch and games with my folks. Which went well on the games front, but we were determined to make um, chicken wings in the crock pot, but they were like
Hmm.
super frozen in the morning. So we put them in hopes that they were going to melt enough that the crock pot lid would like come down correctly and not let the moisture out, which didn't happen. So the top ones were like super fucking gummy. And I was like, God damn, fucking son of a. It was a whole thing.
No good deed, right?
And then around 5, which at that point it had started to snow, we went over to her folks' place until about 12:30, and then ventured home slowly because there was fresh snow everywhere.
Right.
So that
And I've seen the roads out there.
Mm.
They're not easily traversed in regular visibility.
Well, Jessica said it best because she's been trying to go to work the last 3 days. They only started paving and putting the fucking salt or whatever they put on the road today.
Mhm. Right.
It's been snowing since Christmas. So that's
Yep.
a thing. So yeah, so that was my Christmas. In terms of the your gifts that got you get anything particularly good and remarkable?
No, I got a T-shirt that
Okay.
regales my personal favorite sports franchise.
Okay.
And
Which
a
is for
Starbucks
the
gift
people
card.
that care about sports?
Oh, I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Okay, I have no idea what that is. It sounds like
That is NFL football,
okay.
and yeah,
Bangles is their name?
Bengals. Yes,
What?
Bengal Tigers.
Oh. Okay,
Yes,
that
not
makes
Bengals like Manic Monday,
yeah.
but they have been known to be called the Bungles because they, haven't had
Yeah. Sports teams.
a whole lot of success since the late 1980s.
I understand. I understand. Well, I got a T-shirt that I wasn't expecting. I got it's brand new. It just came out this year. Most recently seen in the early launch anniversary thing for the Halo Infinite multiplayer, as worn by Joseph Staten. This
Hmm.
white T-shirt with a purple needler on it, and it's all like done out like a Covenant blueprint. Um, so that was
Oh,
super nice and cool and looks nice. And also, I must say, especially because it's been cold as fuck out, T-shirt's hella nice quality. Damn, this feels like money.
it's not a Gildan special, right?
Correct. Yeah, I guess she got it right directly from the 343 store and whatnot. Um,
Yeah, I mean, if they use the same vendor that Bungie does, yeah, their T-shirts are
maybe. I mean, I assume
they're
it'd be.
cozy and comfy. I'll say that much.
I would say it's a better quality than a Bungie shirt, to be honest.
Hmm.
Having had many Bungie shirts over the years, it is
Okay.
definitely higher quality. Let's see. I got well, from the wife, I got a couple of Halo Mega Blocks, which were on my Christmas list. So I have a model of a third of the Zeta ring sitting behind me that
Nice.
it's been
Okay.
spent about 6 hours building for just pure. Yeah, I want to build a Halo ring. Like if there was a song, do you want to build a Halo ring? I don't know what the song would be. It's terrible. I'm not going to sing. So I have that, and I have two more behind me. I have a model of Chief's helmet, and I have a Banshee that I'm going to add to my Warthog that I got earlier in the summer.
Nice.
And I'm a little frightened because the Halo ring was so fucking complicated.
Okay.
Even over the Warthog, which I think I said on the show, I spent way too long and was frustrated, but I still had a ludicrous good time. And I'm looking at like the Halo ring was like, I don't know, it's like 500 pieces, and I'm looking to the right because the boxes are behind me of Chief's helmet, and it's like 800, and I'm like, ugh.
Right.
I'm gonna have to.
I mean, there's less depth of color to Chief's helmet than there is to a Halo ring. So
Oh yeah, the Halo ring was ridiculous. Like it was like
that would be what would make it difficult, because sure, it might be less pieces, but those pieces become very specific when you start dealing with the flora and fauna.
oh my god, these fucking trees on this ring were a pain in the ass because it was like the smallest fucking piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I finished this, right? I finished it on day after Christmas, actually. And Jessica was ratting around and coming in and checking on me and stuff. She comes in after I finish it, and I was like, it's beautiful, it's perfect, it's glorious. And then she says, as I finished it, oh, that's really cool. She says, I saw on Reddit that there was someone who got a bunch of those sets and made a complete ring. And I turned my head with like the creakiest, slowest movement. And I said to her with all feeling,
Yeah.
and I said, show me. And she was like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything. And I was like, yep, you done fucked up. Because like it's curved and it's like done in pieces, but they like connect to each other. So it makes total sense that somebody bought like a bunch more sets and made a full fucking ring. And I've since seen the Reddit post. I'm like,
now, did they riff on it to make different regions, or did it just be
the
same?
No. They did totally different regions and stuff.
Okay.
And the thing is with the set, even though I built it the way that the instructions told me, like it's like one of those like it reminds me of like those, like, how there's like, I know these aren't Legos, it's Mega Bloks Construct, but you know how in the Lego sets there's like those like city architecture and they're like really nice looking, but they're made with like each fucking single dotted brick is like a different thingamajiggy. Yeah, that's what this is for the Halo ring, which is why it took so long, because it's like, okay, which
Sure.
All right, tiny piece I'm looking for in bag 5 or bag 6. I don't.
Right. Whereas your Chief helmet's going to have, here's your bag of green bricks, here's your bag of shiny gold bricks.
Well, it's funny. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know what it is because I haven't opened it yet. But looking at the picture, it kind of looks like the shiny gold bit is just like a solid piece, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the detailing is on the other stuff. But it's got a removable AI chip that you can slide in the back, supposedly.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll see when I get to it. I'll have to send you some pictures of the Halo, which I surprisingly did not do a intimate photo shoot with it for 3 hours like I did with the Warthog, mostly because I spent many.
Please hold on. Please, for our audience, define intimate photo shoot.
Okay, so with the Warthog, as I've mentioned back in September, I finished the Warthog. I was proud of it. And then I realized how posable the figures are on Mega Bloks because they're way more posable and detailed than a Lego. And so I proceeded to make a photo shoot of the Warthog on my brown couch that looks like dirt, running over the Covenant and like hitting the windshield. And I took photos of all of them up really close. And because I have hue lights everywhere, I changed the lighting. Did I not send these to you? They're probably on the Discord.
Did not.
They're probably on the Discord. I'll have to dig them up. But I was going to do the same thing with the Halo ring because now I've got the new iPhone with the macro camera. And I'm like, ooh, there's going to be some...
You'll have to frame it so that the Halo ring Mega Blok reflects in the shiny grill of the Master Chief helmet.
Oh.
See,
I didn't even think of that because it's also not built yet. So I'm going to have to...
Right, but yeah. When you're done, there you go. That is the money shot right there. Since we're talking about intimate photo shoots.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I don't know exactly. I don't know how big the helmet's gonna be, because like the ring is like.
You have a macro camera.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like in compare. Anyway, whatever. This has gone on too long talking about this. But anyway, I got those. And then my lovely wife was able to obtain the magnificent and glorious 20th anniversary Xbox Series X controller in all of its glory. So I broke that in yesterday, actually. And my father-in-law actually obtained the 20th anniversary headset, which I also broke in yesterday.
The heads. Huh? What's 20th anniversary about the headset?
Okay, so you've seen the controller, right? Where it's like the
Yes.
smoky clear plastic, and then as opposed to the like textured, like grippy plastic on the bottom, it's actually got like rubber, green textured stuff. And then the Xbox home button or whatever it's called, guide, I think it used to be called. Yeah, that one. It's textured, and then instead of glowing white, it glows with the original green on the controller.
Oh.
And then and I only know this because I've seen reviews about it beforehand. I know if you put a black light to it, it apparently has like an etchogram of the original Duke controller inside the controller.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't have a black light, so I can't I can't confirm what that looks like in the real. And then the 20th anniversary headset is it's the new Series X, Xbox Series X headset. But it's in
with that same translucent treatment.
Yeah, with the same translucent treatment, and it's got something that glows in it too under black light. And then it's accented with the really luminescent bright green, and then it says Xbox 20 on the thing. And I have to say, I heard reviews about this headset beforehand, since it is the same one that launched with the Series X. It's just a new coat of paint. It's fucking good. I wasn't sure about it at first because I'm usually pretty picky about headsets, being an audiophile. But it's got a really comfy headrest. The cups, my God, the cups are so comfy, and they're so sound isolating too. I was not prepared for the level of sound isolation they were going to give me. And I'm a big fan of how it's the kind of headset where like the bulge on the right side, the whole fucking thing is a knob for the volume, which is super nice, I gotta say. And then the fact that it's a standard 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. 3.5 or 2.5? 3?
Yeah, 3.5.
Hypothetically, on paper, it should work with other stuff like PlayStation and computers and stuff.
Right.
Haven't checked that out per se, but it's really nice. And then the boom mic is a little weird for me because it's like super short.
Right. I'm looking at pictures of it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little like about the length of a cigarette.
Yeah, it actually, having smoked a few back in my rougher days, yeah, a cigarette is a great comparison. Almost exactly. Kind of feels like the white part of a cigarette too for some reason. But then it just folds up nicely into the cup when you're not using it. And it's just it's lovely. I don't know how I sound on it because I haven't done any streaming or anything with it. I'm told I sound just fine, which is what anybody tells you when you're playing games and they're not audiophiles. So, to each his own. But I had a fantastic time with it. I spent some intimate time with it about 2 nights ago, and where I finished the last HVTs and banish bases in Halo Infinite that I'd kind of just tucked away for Christmas break. And the sound, the bases are deep, the fidelity is crisp, couldn't hear any crackling. And more importantly, when I put them on, I couldn't hear my fans that I had going in the room on. So yeah, big fan of the stock design Series X headset.
Well, I mean, I was a huge fan of the original Xbox One headset.
Oh, who wasn't, with the wraparound and the ears and stuff?
Again, like they weren't the lightest weight, but yeah, good sound isolation, decent mic on it. I would say they were probably
I did.
on par with the A40s that I have right now.
I didn't even mind the little the 360 one.
Right.
You know, as far as headsets go, that was pretty solid as well. Yeah, actually, Xbox, I guess, has had a history of pretty solid headsets. I can't speak to whatever the original Xbox One had, if they did have one. But
I don't recall. If anything,
yeah.
it might have been one of those call center type
Earbud,
single
perhaps.
ear boom mic.
Yeah. Well, that's what the 360 had. Had a call center type mic.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I got those, and then of course our new mod Daniel, had to do his Christmas gifts. Who always one ups me. And if our audience recalls, last year, motherfucker got me like fucking microphones and fucking a goddamn. I'm blanking now, even though it's to my left. It's a Focusrite Scarlett 2i.
Oh yeah, the XLR input.
Yeah, it's also mixed.
Yeah,
it's
XLR
hybrid.
preamp.
So I have it in my hand here because I haven't been daring enough to open it yet, because I'm just like, this is going to be a day, and I'm going to need Nate's help probably. So this motherfucker got me a Razer Ripsaw HD capture card for streaming, and I've seen many video reviews on this, and my general thoughts are from the many reviews is that generally people fall in two camps. Either this is the greatest thing or Elgato's the greatest thing, and some people have gone to one or the other and swapped back over time. So that kind of tells me that of the two on the market, the Ripsaw HD and the Elgato are like the best ones, apparently.
Okay. I'm over here in Camp Avermedia, which has been doing a damn bang up job. So,
well, to which I, the amateur streamer who now has a fucking card and is gonna have to fucking get co-host Nate's help to fucking figure out Streamlabs or OBS or whatever the fuck I need to figure out.
Right.
I've never heard that brand, so I don't know.
You know, Avermedia has been around like way back in the day when you could actually get, remember when you could put TV tuner cards in your PCs? No.
3 things. 1,
I'm feeling old now.
remember who you're talking to, and not the age thing. That wasn't an age comment. Think about the Mac zealotry and the Appleness. 2, of course, I remember fucking tuner cards. Every goddamn HP PC that you could get at a fucking Costco came with one that didn't work.
Probably an
I might
Avermedia.
add.
Yeah. It was either a diamond or an Aver.
And then 3, I've prolonged my thought process on this so much, I've already forgotten what 3 is. So carry on.
Now, just for my own knowledge, we can delve into the finer details.
Sure.
Is this an external or internal capture card?
This is an external capture card.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I read the box. I've got it right here. It's in my hand. So
no, I was just going, am I going to have to explain to you how to insert a PCI card?
I know how to insert a PCI card.
Oh, Mr. Mac knows how to do this?
I do.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
This is not something I'm used to from Mac users because, Apple in general has been known for being not user serviceable.
I'm aware.
So, okay, fair enough.
Anyway, so the main deets on this is it's 4K 60 FPS pass through, records 1080p up to 60 FPS. It claims plug and play, and I see a microphone jack, a headphone jack, and then the rear has a Type-C power input / talking to the PC thing, and then an HDMI in and an HDMI out. That's what I see.
That looks about right. It's a Type-C?
Yes.
It's not one of those... Okay, yeah, it's the enhanced USB-C. or no? No, I'm looking at one's enhanced USB.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't opened the box actually.
Okay.
I still have the little
Yeah.
like tape seal on it because I know if I dig into it, I'm probably gonna spend a lot of fucking time on it, and I'll probably need help because probably plugging it in cables and getting all that stuff working is not gonna be the hard part.
Oh,
It's gonna be
it's really damn easy. That's really not that
okay.
The hardest part is going to be setting up your OBS to your liking.
I see. Yeah, I bet it will be. But anyway, I have one of those, so I'm gonna go. Oh, whoops! And I just dropped it.
You had one of those?
Whoops.
Rip saw?
Oh, coming in with those dad jokes. It's fine, folks.
Yeah. These things are not built with a lot of moving parts anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So those were, I guess, the things that I obtained at Christmas. Oh, and I just got a disc copy of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy because it was on her list, and then also so that I can play it.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing I got. Well, I didn't get. My kids got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you've been talking about that. So, when are you going to light a candlelit dinner and spend some time with that bad boy?
I've already spent a little bit of time with it.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it's been whatever comes with the Nintendo Switch Online subscription.
Oh, I see.
For free because I haven't had enough. I barely had enough time to play my Xbox or my PC this month. And the most time I spent on the Switch was making sure it was updated, ready to go. So when the kids turned it on, it wasn't like, okay, now let's pair the controllers. Oh, let's set up the accounts. Oh, let's set up parental controls. Oh, let's.
Well, I mean, pairing the controllers is super simple.
Well, yes, but it's still the patience of a 4-year-old is not. It's not super simple.
Yeah.
Super simple is not super simple.
So
enough.
you got a base model?
Base model.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't get the OLED.
Gray or the red and blue Joy-Cons?
Red and blue.
Nice. That was what I originally obtained. So what do you think of the Joy-Cons now that you've had them in your hands? Are they something that you like, or are you yearning for a pro controller already?
I dislike them so much.
Okay.
It's acceptable if you put it in the
shoe
pro controller-ish dock. Yeah, the shoe, is that what they call it?
I don't know what it's fucking called.
But yeah, it's
the thing that comes in the box.
In that thing. Yeah. Even putting the tethers on it make it a little more manageable. But yeah, my brain doesn't wrap around holding one in each hand.
What about when you have it in a full big boy handheld mode?
I have not played it in full big boy handheld mode.
Okay. I think that was the primary purpose in which it was designed.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Joy-Cons personally, but I also know
using them as a one player, using a single Joy-Con for like the old Nintendo NES games. Yeah, way too small.
Well, then don't pick up any Mario Party games.
Yeah,
because they exclusively use that.
Oh no. Yeah, I was trying to play Super Mario Brothers 3, and the one giving me 4 buttons when I can only use 2 is already screw you.
Does it make you feel better that you can get a proper NES pad?
It does. I haven't gotten one yet. What are you doing, Cat? Hold on.
Well, neither have I, for that matter.
Okay. Was doing the wiggle butt thing, and I have a lot of cables behind my mixer board here that I was just like, no.
Yeah, we don't need that. That's for sure.
But yeah, so yeah, got the Switch for the kids. I've been playing some of the emulated games on them, and I'm really happy with those. Like they're accurate representations.
Well, mostly. There's a Digital Foundry video I can point you to that would say otherwise. And also, if you had a Wii or Wii U prior to a Switch,
I did not.
you would
Yeah.
you would go, we know you can do better, Nintendo. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, no, they're totally fine. They're playable. There's nothing, it's a technical gripe, if anything.
Sure.
Yes, those are fine. Okay, but yeah, no, that's cool. I'm glad that you have a Switch, and that one day I will complain to you enough for you to play Metroid Dread.
Get Metroid Dread
and Breath of the Wild.
Yes. Oh, Breath of the Wild I want to get because I'm sure I could eventually get the kids to just free roam in that game and have fun.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, funny story on that. I have actually a dad story to share with you on that. Not me, of course. But a friend of mine, Chad, who is
Chad the dad?
Yeah, he is a dad. He got a Switch when it first came out as well. And he had Zelda. And he got his kids playing Smash Brothers and Breath of the Wild for like the last 4 years. And recently his kid, aged up and beat Zelda, and he had like a proud gamer dad moment. And then he's like, this is excellent. Now that you've accomplished this, now you can play Halo with me.
Excellent.
So that's a thing. So might be
we got them
scenario.
Pokemon Unite, and
Okay.
I figured it would be a little more kid friendly, and it's not.
That's the MOBA game? It's like free, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not real kid friendly.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
ready
it's
to
made
throw
for cell
them in and
phones.
just yeah. Well, I played it on my cell. I set up an account so I could play on my cell phone with them.
Well,
that way, I'm not just sending them into the wild just to get thrashed.
Yeah. I mean, they might also do good with Super Mario Odyssey, because they have like a co-op mode that's actually pretty fun and hilarious.
Definitely, Fork Fam, come to the Discord, hit the topics video game section, and give me suggestions of games I can get for my kids.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, under 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Kids.
Well, I mean, that's why I threw out Mario. I mean, Mario's pretty attractive to
But
noobs.
yeah, like Breath of the Wild, even if they're not constantly battling things, they can just wander. Which watching my one kid play a practice realm in Pokemon, he's just like, why can't I go through this wall? Can I jump over it?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild would be perfect for that. No walls.
So, yeah,
just mountains and death.
But they understand that if you jump off a cliff, you're going to fall to your death. They've watched Daddy do it in Halo enough times.
Oh, well, they don't have that in Infinite, so. Dropped off many a high thing in Infinite. Indeed. Do we have anything else to discuss on life?
Oh, well, we do have an Arby's story.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck me. Okay. Hang on, let me try to.
Before you do that, I need to let the cat escape and put a couple ice cubes in my glass.
Okay, that's fine. I gotta remember this story now.
All right.
Getting in frame of reference here. Arby's story. Of course, the co-host would not forget the Arby's story. Yes, the Arby's story. There's one, folks. We'll begin as soon as Nate has returned from releasing the cat. As I vamp, because I'm not feeling like editing this out. The show. Oh, hilarious! I'm hysterical.
Okay, is your memory refreshed?
It is refreshed.
Okay.
So it was a cold Wednesday night. It was cold. And it was raining, and I had actually just come back from a place from work that had gone sideways. So I got back into town at like 7:38 or something. And my brain was like, I'm fucking starving. It's basically Christmas. I'm not gonna cheat and I'm going to go eat at Arby's. And so I pulled up to my local Arby's, and what to my wondering eye should appear but a man not in a vehicle at the drive-thru.
With eight tiny reindeer?
No, it was just him. And he was leaned over, talking to the microphone and shaking his head violently. To which I said, huh, that's weird.
That's weird.
He then beckoned at me to drive a little closer and roll down my window. To which I said, I don't know why this has turned into a fucking Christmas story, but it has. To which I said, what's the worst that could happen?
Oh dear.
I rolled down the window, and he spoke.
And threw open the sash, right?
I pulled it into park and listened to what the man had to say.
Okay.
And he spoke in what I can only describe was either broken English or perhaps a speech impediment, or perhaps he was
combination of both,
crazy, or maybe a little special. Could not tell in the entirety. To which he said, nobody's talking on the microphone. You might as well pull up. And I went, oh, okay, man. But then as soon as I said it, the microphone came alive because, of course, I was there with a vehicle for the infrared sensor to trigger the microphone, whereas he was just there.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. So he saw that I was ordering, and then he moved up to the back of the vehicle that was between him and I, in line with him without his vehicle. I ordered. My thing was still down. He waved at me again, and he said something to the effect of, I have no vehicle, so I'm trying to order, was, I think, what he said.
Okay.
He stood in line. It's raining and it's windy and it's cold outside, and he stood in line diligently. And I thought to myself of, the times where I had in my younger days, gone up to a Taco Bell drive-thru without a vehicle, drunk off my ass. But he didn't seem to be exhibiting that behavior. So I rolled up my window, to which I conferred with me old partner Brock over there as to what the fuck was his deal. And then he's like, I don't know, he could be special. He could, he ran through the same list that I just displayed here. And then he moved up, and because he was in front of me and he was moving along with the cars, I wasn't going to run him over, because that would be rude, folks. So he went up to the window. And what I thought was peculiar was two things. One, he was wearing a mask this whole time while outside, in between vehicles, quite far away from us while it's raining. But then when he moved up, I saw that he was wearing Crocs. And I went, huh. It was raining, mind you. And then when he got to the window, he removed his mask and leaned quite far into the window, which I was like, I don't know why, if we're in cars with our windows rolled down, he had the mask on standing outside, but then removed it to talk to the gal at the window. I couldn't hear what he was saying to the lady at the Arby's, and I'm sitting here speculating with Brock, and I'm like, I don't know, is he arguing with her? Is he trying to get food? Is he in trouble? What is this man's deal? I'm intensely curious. He maybe has a speech impediment. Is he special? I don't know. He looks a little off, but he's not acting that off. Apart from when he did speak to me, at least what I could hear, And then Brock was like, well, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to give him some fucking food so he'll get the fuck out of the line, because you're not supposed to fucking be here if you don't have a vehicle. You know, and I was like, well, I know that from my days, you know, being drunk and going to Taco Bell without a vehicle, you know? And so the man gets 4 drinks and then moseys on his way somewhere off into the night. And they weren't like fancy drinks, they were like sodas or something. And I was like, so bizarre. And he like waved to me good night, like a Santa Claus who just got off of his duty at the mall or something. And I thought it was so peculiar. And so I drive up expecting to hear some kind of crazy tale from the fair maiden cashier. And she was like, I'm a little confused on what your order is. What was it again? And I was like, tell her my order. She goes, oh, okay, here's your order. And I go to reach for my credit card. And then she goes, no, it's okay. The guy in front of you bought your meal. And I went, what? Because there was no logical sense in my head in which that sequence of weird events ended up with that dude being like, I'm gonna buy the guy's meal behind me.
Your dinner's on me.
When I just bought like some sodas, you know, like it didn't make any. I was so betwixt by this that I literally said to the cashier, "What do you mean?" he bought my meal, and she's like, "I don't know what the hell to tell you. The dude bought your meal. You don't owe us anything. Do you want your meal?" And I was like, yes, with the hugest question mark. And I got the meal and I drove off. I kind of even looked for him a bit to see if I could see him somewhere. And I
But he up and vanished like a fart in the wind?
Yeah. I was just like, what just happened? And so I went home and I ate my meal. And I was befuddled. I was beside myself because I was just like, I mean, I feel like this is a lesson in humility, because I probably am a little jaded at this point, and I was ready for it to be some crazy coked out fucking person, or somebody on drugs, or somebody who's just having a weird hard time because maybe he was a bit special or something, you know? And I was just like, and I finished my meal and I'm sitting there waiting for Jessica to go home. I'm not even doing anything. I just ate my meal quietly in the dark, like a person just thinking about this thing. And I thought to myself, fuck me. Now I feel like I need to pay it forward for somebody else.
And maybe that was the point.
I guess of all the things in that specific sequence to occur, that, you know, it just breaks my brain logic, I guess. So that, dear Nate, is the Arby's story.
Okay. That was worth the reminder.
Thanks for reminding me. I'd honestly totally forgotten. Good co-hosting. There you go. Okay, so now are we spinning? Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Okay. I don't have Discord pulled up. What do you have Discord pulled up?
I do have Discord pulled up.
Okay, I'm spinning. You tell me what the thing is that we're landing on. That's fire. I'm pretty sure that's life topics.
That's life.
And we already did that. Okay. All right, air.
That's fire again.
No.
Air?
No, it's
okay,
air.
video games.
Oh, video games.
Video games.
Awesome. I feel like it's been 80 fucking episodes since we landed on video games early in the goddamn show.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, we've got like 10 minutes before everyone turns into pumpkins, so yeah, we'll just get to the next episode. Oh, it's the last topic again.
It never happens. It's annoying, honestly. The ring hates it. But not tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So what you been playing, Nate?
Yeah, and here's the amusing part. I really haven't been playing crap because I've been dealing with Christmas and whatnot. No, I've actually been playing stuff on the Switch.
Good.
I've been going through the entire classic catalog of Mario Brothers, Zelda's, whatever Punch-Out version they have
It's
for
probably the first one.
Super. No, not the. It wasn't the Tyson's Punch-Out. It was the one for the SNES.
Oh, I don't think I played that one as much as the original.
Looked very much like it, but controls nothing like it, and I was so befuddled by it. Did many a circuit playing F-Zero.
Oh yeah, F-Zero's a good one.
And I forgot how incredibly frustrating that game was.
Super hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm like, this is not Forza Horizon. You actually can't steer in this game.
And you need to train your eyes to mode 7.
Right.
Just put on your mode 7 goggles.
Oh gosh. Yeah, and then the aforementioned Pokemon Unite, which,
sounds like it was a mistake.
I'm finding that.
Which sounds like it was a mistake.
No, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, okay.
But I can't see that being a good game for my kids.
Well, speaking of Pokemon as something that's a little bit into the next year, which is upon us, that Pokemon Legend of Atreus game that looks like it's Pokemon with a little Breath of the Wild thrown in. That's out in like 15 days, dude.
Oh.
That could be a thing for your kids.
Okay.
I don't know for sure because nobody's fucking played the thing. But we'll know in a couple of weeks. Okay. So I have my eye on it as probably my first game purchase of 2022. Just because I'm like, all right, I haven't played an actually genuinely new Pokemon game in fucking 17 years. Because I don't count when I played Let's Go Pikachu, because that was a 3D remake of Red and Blue, which was the original. And it was almost too faithful.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's a double-edged sword. It's like, it's exactly the game you remember, but in 3D. And it's exactly the game you remember, but in 3D.
But in 3D. Okay.
Text scrolling speed at the speed of molasses and all, with no option to change it for no reason.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a 50-hour game, and probably 30 of those hours is scrolling through fucking text.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, no. So yeah, keep a lookout on that one, and it might be, I mean, it's Pokemon, so it's obviously already kid-friendly, but it might be playable kid-friendly.
Sure.
So that's a thing. But carry on.
Yeah, I've been doing the very, very bare minimum. Like, I turn on Destiny, I check the store, I go and reap the benefits of my clan for the bounties that they have accomplished, and then I shut it down.
Haven't checked out any of those Halo guns yet in the game?
I managed to get the BXR.
Okay. How's that feel?
And it feels like the Halo pulse rifle.
Okay.
Or the Halo battle rifle.
Okay.
But in pulse rifle form. That thing is stick straight. Having ADS on it is kind of a weird feeling.
I bet.
Because, ADS in Halo is not quite the same.
Sure. It's true.
And then I got the trace rifle, which I forget what that, it's supposed to mimic one of the Covenant weapons.
It's probably the Needler, right?
Not the Needler, no.
Not the Needler.
Like a phase rifle.
The carbine?
Not the carbine. It was anything that it basically it shoots a stream of energy.
Oh, then not the Covenant. The Forerunner Sentinel beam.
Okay, yes, you're right.
That one.
That's the one.
Okay.
So I've gotten those two. And I got those basically the first day, and it was I fired it up to go, okay, I need to go through the opening sequence, and those were the two weapons that dropped for me, and so I got to play with them for a little bit, and like, nope. My wife has actually accomplished more than I have. She's been doing the whole donning thing. She's already masterworked her cookie oven.
What? What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Cookie oven.
You have to make cookies for the holidays, and you have to give them to everyone in the tower and reaches beyond.
No.
And you get ingredients by doing specific things. It's basically fetch quest Um, fetch quests done right.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really there's some that are horribly specific, but
Mhm.
most of them are kills with void energy gives you null taste
Mm,
as an ingredient.
I gotcha.
Kills on uh, specific classes give you a specific ingredient, so you can just kind of go wherever and or you can just play and then go look at your accumulation and go, oh, I have the ingredients to make these things.
Okay.
Or you can specifically target um, ingredients that you need if you're trying to make specific recipes.
Fair enough.
So it's kind of fun. It's a little I don't know. I don't enjoy it too much. It's making cookies
Oh,
for
Destiny.
old grandma Stranger Danger.
Playing Destiny. I don't enjoy it too much.
Eh. Well, no, just the this particular event, the dawning event, has always been like, okay.
Yeah.
You get pretty shiny, twinkly gear, which is basically everything
Hmm.
that Destiny is. Play for the gear.
Sure.
We're by the time we get around to Christmas, we're at the point of the story where the story's like pretty much either done or dead.
Mm.
So
Fair enough. Playing anything else?
I have not been playing Halo, sadly.
Okay. This is disappointing, but
It's very
I
disappointing.
understand. You should get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killer Cow Daniel has already suggested that we do a spoiler cast for that, maybe the end of next month.
Oh, that's fine. Believe me, I've been spoiled by it already.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I listen to way too many podcasts that are of the gaming ilk to have not been spoiled. It'd be like you suddenly going into No Way Home right now. I have not seen it. I probably won't get to see it anytime soon. But
Hmm.
again, I listen to enough
Has it been spoiled
podcasts
for
at
you
this
already?
point. It's been spoiled. Yeah,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
the cutscenes have been spoiled, or the end credit scenes have been spoiled.
Mm.
The special guest appearances,
Mhm.
certain cameos have been spoiled.
Yeah, it's definitely disheartening to go on YouTube
Yeah,
and see
departed characters have been spoiled.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So, but again, it's not, and it's one of those. It's not a franchise that I'm so deeply connected to that I really cared about it so much. Like, I'd rather know and not have to see it than watch the next Doctor Strange movie that comes out and go, what is this? Right?
Mm. Okay. Well,
So,
that saddens me to my core, but I understand.
I know. Each their own, right?
Okay, fair enough. So going back to the original Mario Brothers and Zelda, how has that experience been?
Again, it's I picked it up, and when I'm not playing with the dinky half controller, where A and B are on the wrong side, I had to remap them to A and whatever A and X.
Mm-hmm.
It's again, it kind of threw me back to 13, 14-year-old me playing Mario.
Right.
It was a nice nostalgia kick.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. I have played many things.
I'm sure you have. You've had a lot of time off, which is something you don't get a lot of.
I mean, yeah, it's true. My week and a half leading up to Christmas was jam packed with work, which was good because the last month and a half has not been jam packed with work, so that was good, but also very hectic. But anyway, so beat Halo Infinite. I cried because we're talking about a guy who built a fucking Halo ring out of Mega Blocks. So it was probably expected that I cried. So we'll talk about that in detail when I'm sure we do our spoiler cast on it, because of course we're doing a spoiler cast on Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
I would say though, my few biggest complaints about Halo Infinite campaign that are not story related. Number one, in retrospect, is that the last area that you go to is not as explorable as I would have liked.
Okay.
Number two, I still believe that the UNSC vehicles need another polish pass, specifically in relation to their geometry hitting things like rocks and trees. They need to just have like a little more friction when they hit stuff to make it truly feel like Halo, because I feel like you still hit stuff and it just stops you way too hard, which isn't how Halo vehicles feel like in a Halo game. Like, they control the same and they feel the same, but there's just something that's a little bit off in regards to them and geometry that needs tweaked. So I think it's probably, hopefully, pretty fixable. And then my third complaint would probably be, for the love of all that is fucking holy, please tweak the Marine AI so when you summon a vehicle in the FOB that's being dropped out of the fucking sky by the Pelican, they're not standing dead in the landing zone and they die instantly. Holy shit. Every fucking time. And I even will go out of my way to push or punch a Marine to get out of the landing zone, and they'll be like, "Oh, what'd you do that for, Chief?" And then they run towards you only to be crushed by the thing that's falling out of the sky. And it's like, okay.
That's why.
Okay. And on that same note with the FOBs, why in the fuck, when fast traveling, do you spawn on the other side of the little terminal that you need to press to summon the vehicle? Why can't you just spawn in front of the terminal that you're going to press? That's what you're there for.
Because someone else might be there?
No. Not acceptable. So those would probably be my chief complaints about Halo Infinite, which are not actually that many if you think about it. And knowing full well, folks, that I'm probably biased because I'm a fucking huge ass Halo nerd who's currently listening to a Halo book while trying to find all the audio logs.
Okay.
So that's a thing. Me and my wife yesterday, we beat It Takes Two, which is the Game Awards Game of the Year award winner. And I cried. I was moved by that fucking game, which, by the way, we thought last time I spoke about it, we thought we were really close to we'll probably have one more level. Fuck no, we had 8 more levels. The game is fucking long, which is not a bad thing. It was just
you just weren't expecting
holy hell, we thought we were close to the climax and stuff, and then they're like, nah, here's more stuff.
That's what she said.
Ha 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 ha. But it's just lovely, and I think, I see now. It's funny because before I was like, really, it won Game of the Year? I mean, it's really good, but now I see why it won Game of the Year, having experienced the other half of the game. I'm just like, man, the fucking sheer creativity and ingenuity that they came up with for every fucking level in that game, and just how well the co-op works. Me and my wife were talking about it because we're trying to find another co-op game, which isn't going to happen because nobody does co-op games the way that Hazelight does for It Takes Two, and then of course its predecessor, A Way Out. they just handle co-op in a way that no other fucking video game does co-op. I had to think about it. We were talking about it the other day. The closest comparison I could think about was the co-op campaigns that were in the early Splinter Cell games.
Okay.
And even then, obviously, it's way older, much older hardware and all that sort of stuff. But it's the only other game I could think of that's like, it's so designed around co-op and caters to each person playing individually while cooperatively, and then when you're not being cooperatively, and then just their whole technical trick where your split screen is sliding around, and then if something important happens to the other character, your screen kind of minimizes more and it focuses on them, and it's
Right.
just so smooth would be a good word for it. um and then just this really emotional tale of these two divorced parents being forced to work through their issues in a weird fairy tale, obnoxious magic book that's forced them to do couples counseling essentially, through a video game world thing. It's just all really good, and I truly recommend it to anyone who loves co-op games. But I felt like it hit particularly hard for me and Jessica being married, and since it was about a married couple that were having problems and stuff, and even though it's centered around their kid and stuff, which we don't have yet, it was just, there's just so much relatable stuff in there, you know. And the only thing that took away my enjoyment from it when the credits rolled was actually how upset Jessica was at me. Which I wasn't expecting, because I'd hear it had a good cry. I was like, oh wow, that was a great game. That was good. I feel really enjoyed that experience, And I'm like, oh baby, love you so much. What'd you think of that game? Wasn't it so good? And she's like, I loved it, but I fucking hate the duels. And so in the game, they have these little optional mini games, and it's
Right.
stuff like chess and darts and racing and all these things where you compete head to head against your, in my case, my literal partner. But me being me, and I'm not trying to brag or gloat, even though that's exactly what I did every time.
You're competitive.
I destroyed her on like
you're not gonna throw a game.
98% of them. And she was super fucking upset about it. She was like, I'm really pissed.
Yeah, she should
like
be.
I won like 2 of those, and every goddamn time you would beat me. And then I was just like, well,
And the proper responses get good scrub.
I mean, I didn't say scrub, but I did say good. To which led to her folding her arms and being further upset.
It is the proper response. It may not be the right response.
Yes. Yeah. And I even said, I was like, well, what would you rather have me do? Would you rather have me throw the games? And she was like, well, no, but you didn't have to go so hard on me. And I was like, I didn't go hard on you. You lost. And it's not my fault that I'm better at chess than she is. And, mine ended in a checkmate with her having 2 pieces left, and whereas my pieces were still on the board, or I always came in first in the racing games because I'm good at racing games, or, all the other weird shit that we did in that game. Yeah, so I don't know. It was a weird spike in my enjoyment, but be prepared for that is what I would say. And I would say it's definitely, because I know you said you like playing co-op with your wife, right? You guys totally are gonna love this fucking game. I think it's so charming, it's so enjoyable, and the game never gets old because every stage, like I said, it's primarily played in the first person, or not the first person, the third person. But then each stage, you and your respective partner in the game get like a different gadget that's either complementary or helpful to one another, and they're just so different and unique. And it's like, oh, okay, I've got this thing and you've got this thing, and together is how we get through these things. And it's just
much like playing the old Portal games.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, referring to the fantastic Portal co-op campaign. Oh gosh, I really want to play that with Jessica, but I want her to beat. She was like halfway through Portal 2 like years ago, and I don't know, something happened. Um, yeah, I really want her to beat Portal 2 because everybody should beat Portal 2. But man, that co-op campaign was fantastic. Very,
Very much so.
very, very good. Very funny too. Oh my god, that ending was fantastic. So yeah, so okay, so there was that. Like I said, I beat the last couple of things on Infinite, and I'm just trying to find all the collectibles. Out of nowhere, a game which I previously mentioned because I'd been playing it on my gaming PC, Pray for the Gods, hit version 1 and launched on Xbox and PlayStation and all kinds of shit like a week or two ago. Like, no fanfare, no nothing. There's no blog post about it on their website. There wasn't even a fucking forum update on it. I just saw it on the fucking Xbox store one day and I was like, what? What do you mean they finished the game?
Okay.
And sure enough, there's like a whole just ginormous slew of things that they fixed and added to the game, and they made the map bigger, and they had like 4 more bosses and more story and all kinds of shit. So out of respect of that developer, which is a 5-man team out of Seattle, I fucking purchased it again for my Xbox Series X, just because I want to see them get recognition and go on. And like I said, I've talked to them several PAXs. They've been working on it for many, many years. So, and in my book, it's well deserved. So now I just need to beat, or I guess I'm starting over on Xbox is really what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna beat the old bosses in a new unit of time, and then see what else they have added to the game. I did boot it up once just because I was very curious to see if it, had any, because it's so under the radar. It's not going to get a Digital Foundry. Let's compare this to the PC. But I've been playing on PC, so I know what it's supposed to be like and stuff. And so far, it compares very favorably. So there's that. I've been playing a decent amount of Sea of Thieves with Daniel. We've been trying to beat the Pirates of the Caribbean campaign content stuff, which I still haven't beaten yet. And that is taking far too long. I've experimented a little bit with a couple of new mechanics in Sea of Thieves. They've added full-on dice rolling and stuff for everything, and Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder people. They have everything from a D6 to a D20 in there, so that's neat. But I say this with a huge caveat as someone who plays these tabletop games. They added it in the way that Destiny adds it. So the dice are an emote, and Sea of Thieves is a first-person game, and you go third-person at the emote. And while the dice is black and the numbers on it are glowing red, and they did kindly add a zoom on the camera, I still can't fucking make out the numbers on my 4K HDR TV if I zoom in all the way. And that's fucking stupid. So they need to do something about that. Can't see me because this isn't film, but I'm waving my hand in the general direction of the UK.
Man shakes fist at cloud.
Exactly. So we've done a bit of that. And they added something which I talked about that should have been added to the game, but is now finally added. They added signal flares and fireworks that you can shoot out of the cannons now, which is super cool and also simultaneously super useful because this is one of the games where dark is actually fucking dark in this game because they give you lanterns and shit and whatnot. Slash night and night pirating, and it's a whole thing in Sea of Thieves.
Imagine light actually being light.
Right? I picked up the Super Mario Party All-Stars game which I actually picked up Christmas Day because A, I didn't get any Nintendo stuff, and B, I'd asked my mom-in-law because they like to play Mario Party games. They wanted to play the new Mario Party, and they said yes, and then I brought it over, and of course we didn't play it. So when Daniel and his wife came by and we did our gift exchange and then had some pizza, we played this Mario Party. And several things about it. Number one, I was winning our whole game the entire fucking night until the last like fucking 5 minutes. And then everybody stole my fucking stars. And then Daniel somehow ended up the winner at the fucking end, which was total complete bullshit. I was winning mini games. I was getting coins. I was fucking playing my ass off because I had never played that Mario Party until that night. So I was like, everything was fresh, you know? And
Apparently not good
it
enough.
was just taken away from me by these petulant, evil players, some of which were my wife.
Petulant, evil players.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's Mario Party for you.
Uh-huh.
So we played that. I actually dove in for about an hour because I was in a mood. I couldn't really figure out what to play next. So I decided to hop into Maneater for an hour.
The heck is that?
So you're playing a shark
Okay.
who eats man.
That makes sense now. Yeah.
So it's if you look this up on the internet, they literally call itself Maneater, the open world shark PG. It's what they call it. And it's an open world shark RPG. That's exactly what it is. You eat bigger things and then you like chew enough of the lower food chain and you can like level up and grow bigger as a shark, and then it's all presented in this super weird like Dangerous Catch fucking it's a TV show, reality TV show kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a fucking narrator and shit. And it's like, oh, the blah, blah, blah. Shark sometimes grows up to 5 sizes or whatever the fuck. You know, and there's these weird, racist, usually southern bad guys who are hunting sharks. And there's like this one guy that's like, I'm trying to hunt sharks because my daddy got eaten by a shark and I'm going to hunt the shark that killed my daddy. You know, like just ridiculous, over the top, super gory, super violent, and kind of fun.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass right now, and is just ridiculous. So I played a bit of that.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun when a game doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, no, they're definitely good to break up like the monotony of like different. I don't know. Oh, wow! So we got a text commentary because I'm somehow being apparently too loud on the other end of the house.
I was like, what?
From the wife who should be in bed because she's got work in the morning. And this was posted 10 minutes ago. She says, and I quote, "You did not checkmate me. I ran out of time to make moves. It's different."
How comfy is that couch?
To which I'm only writing, "Wow, I love you." Long ellipsis.
Checkmate.
Oh shit, she read it. She's writing back. Why aren't you asleep, woman?
At least she's typing back and you don't hear her knocking on your door.
Woman. Oh my god. You loved that, didn't you?
Yes, I do.
I feel like you feed off of the backhanded comments from my wife.
Mm-hmm. It lets me know I'm not alone.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we both share feisty wives, so this is definitely something that we have in
If the
common.
one night that you spent with my wife when we were up there wasn't enough to give you an idea,
Yeah.
and she was on pretty good behavior.
Well, as I said before,
No, I'm waiting to hear what the next message is, or is it still ellipsising?
no, that was me having an alcoholic burp,
Oh,
and
okay.
then trying to hold it in stubbornly so that it doesn't make a loud noise on the podcast. But no, like I said before, I quite enjoyed your wife's company, and we should still endeavor to be mad scientists together and get them both on the show simultaneously.
Yes.
That needs to
I
happen.
think it'll be a lot easier to get mine than yours at this point.
Yeah, because of the work differences.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's definitely something that we're gonna have to cook up in the books for a Fork 2022 special for sure.
Yes, sir.
I know I've played more games than this, but I'm having like a brain fart.
We'll save them for another. We'll save them for another episode. I think this is the longest we spent on the video game topic,
and I love it.
In nearly a year, right? Yeah.
So stupid. I do have one last mention of games because I have spent a ton of time with it because it's on my phone. I ran across this game that is called Hole Down. Like a hole, like digging a hole, and then the word down. And it is made by this dude who made a video game that I brought up on this show several times called Ramkadazel, which is a ridiculous fucking name. And that's the RTS mixed with Tetris with
right.
minimalistic graphics. Well, he has a new game out. It's called Hole Down, and it is nothing at all like Ramkadazel whatsoever. There's a goofy fucking inflatable bendy guy in the corner of the screen at the whole fucking time. And it is a reverse kind of Tetris mixed with a breakout type scenario.
Okay.
So it's called Hole Down because you're trying to get down to the center of a hole and dig out a core to get like mines or diamonds or something. And it's a 2D game and it's super minimalistic. So in that sense, it is similar to Ramkadazel, but beyond that, that's where the similarities can fuck off. You are holding a ball back and flinging it, and then the Tetris blocks, because they're in Tetris shapes, except they're rounded on the corners. You're shooting a physics ball at them, and then they have a number on them, and that's how many times you need to hit that block to break that block. And so you're playing angles, and then as your score multiplies, so does your ball count that gets shot among your first fling. So you can get up there to like, so you like have like 40 balls. And you're physics bouncing them off of these Tetris blocks that are rounded that have different numbers on them to break them. And then there's two different blocks. There's a normal block, which if you take it out from underneath, it's like physics supported, so it'll destroy the blocks above it. But then there's like hardened blocks that won't go. And then each time you take a new shot, the Tetris things move up towards the top of your screen. If they reach the top, you're dead.
Okay.
So it's yeah, I mean that's basically the game. But
interesting.
But I've spent way too much time on this game. It is unfortunately the type of game that is like, oh, it's 2 a.m. I've been sitting here in bed playing this dumb little thing for.
Is this a freebie or is this a couple dollar app?
I think it's like $1.
Okay.
But it's fantastic. Like I you know, I got it pretty much instantly because I liked the devs' previous work. And it's like, well, it's this and Ramkadazzle, so let's fucking support this guy, kind of thing. But man, it's really, really fucking good. I've beat the game. There's levels, to be clear, and there's also the diamonds that you earn. You get power ups, so you can like kit out your ball throwing ness stuff. So there's a little tiny bit of an RPG element to it. And then once you beat the game, there's like an infinite mode. And I'm score chasing at this point. And it's just a good sitting in bed, kill some time. And then to clarify something.
Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots on it.
Yeah, and then to clarify something that I think, because I know sometimes Tetris can turn off people, but in this case, nothing moves until you move. So you can literally sit there thinking about your shot for like a fucking hour if you want.
Right.
And then at least where I'm playing it on iPhone, it has the best fucking resume game thing I have seen in a game in a long time. Like I'll put it down, turn the app off, close the phone's off or whatever, or has died from work or something. And I'll come back and it'll resume exactly where it was. And I'm just like, huh, I'm in a really bad spot here in this game. Fuck.
Well, you'll be very happy to know that this game is not only a mobile game, it's also available on Steam and the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, but that's good that you got that. It's on Steam and it's on Switch. And I feel it.
And Google Play.
Well, there you go. You can get it on your Google device. How much is it? Is it like $1 or what is it?
That I don't know. On Steam, it is $5.99.
Totally worth it, in my opinion. Just
on
saying.
Nintendo eShop, it is
probably like
$9.99.
Yeah, called it.
On Google Play, it is $3.99.
Oh, yeah.
And on the App Store, it is $3.99.
Yeah, totally worth the price on any platform. Fantastic game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. You know what it kind of reminds me of in a weird way? There was a block breaker game that's still around. You can get copies of it called Luminous. It reminds me of Luminous in a weird way. Like it's kind of like it's like a trancey puzzle kind of game in a way, even though the music is like not that trancey, but it reminds me like it's got that kind of vibe where it's like you can just do it and like be good at it and get enjoyment out of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that's everything I got for gaming that I can think of. I mean, there's a myriad of controversies that I could talk about, but who fucking cares? It's all terrible.
Right.
People didn't get PlayStation.
I try not to address controversies until a month has gone by. And if there's still controversies in a month, then I can give them a fair shake.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them controversies, get wrapped up. Some of them don't. Whatever. It's
right.
it's all madness.
Yeah,
and we've had too much of that for 2021. The sequel to 2020.
Right. And to think we're about to go into 2022.
Yep. That joke writes itself.
Yes, it does.
2022, the sequel to the sequel. It's Revenge. Director's cut.
The Revenge of 2020. 2022.
Right.
Spin the ring, please.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's fire again. Nope. That's air again. Nope. That's air again. Nope. Water. What's water, Nate?
Entertainment.
I've been doing a lot of that. How about yourself?
I've been doing some of that.
Okay, well, why don't you go first?
I did not see Spider-Man No Way Home. I am not going to see Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. But I did see The Matrix.
Oh, okay. What did you?
Did you at least see that?
I've seen The Matrix. Yes. I
Okay.
mean,
Did you see it in a theater? Or did you see it at home?
no, I fucking saw it at home.
Okay, so did I.
I'm not gonna go to the theater unless I have to.
And well, some movies kind of.
I thought about it if it makes you feel any better because
So did I.
I've said it before. The Matrix, and this will probably make you feel dated, but The Matrix for me, even though I'm a big Star Wars fan, The Matrix for me, because of my era, was my Star Wars. It changed my fucking life.
Sure.
It blew my mind. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I wore the fucking Xbox DVD player out because I just had that movie on repeat until the fucking DVD drive ate itself.
I mean, considering that they were able to sell that project based off of one scene, tells you everything you need to know about the original Matrix.
Yeah, I mean it's a cultural touchstone. You know, we're at the point in history where the Matrix has influenced the culture so much that people say, you know, oh, is that a glitch in the Matrix or the Matrix? And people know what it is. You know, red pill, blue pill. To the point where actually this is true. You can actually look this up. I'm not making this up. So, you know how there was a trailer for the Sonic 2 movie at the Game Awards?
Mm-hmm.
So they had another trailer 2 days before the Matrix came out where they did a literal fucking parody of the Matrix trailer for Sonic 2 with red hedgehog or red echidna, blue hedgehog. Which one will you choose? Like I was like, holy shit. How fast did marketing have to act to make that fucking thing? It's ridiculous. Right. It's super silly. I encourage people to check it out because it's so dumb. You know.
Well, and the fact that, you know, the whole red pill, blue pill thing has made it into the lexicon of vernacular.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. The Matrix, I'd say, very important cultural touchstone, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, without spoilers.
That said,
without spoilers for folks, what did you think of The Matrix Resurrections, Nate?
It was a movie. I'm glad I saw it at home on my 4K TV. I'm actually going to give it a rewatch on my not 4K TV in the living room with my full surround.
Okay.
At some point in time, just to
wait, hang on.
Experience it a little better.
Back up and explain the moronicness to me here. So you watched it on a 4K HD TV.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to rewatch it on a non-4K TV in surround sound.
Yes, the 4K HD TV is in my office. It is a 55-inch. The TV that's in my living room is not a 4K 65-inch.
I see.
So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I understand.
Yep.
So I take it.
But yeah, I made sure to watch it in 4K first because I wanted the visual aspect of it more than the auditory aspect.
Well, it's definitely, I would say, even more so than the original trilogy, which is, I'm just realizing, is a weird thing that I'm going to be seeing for the rest of my life now for The Matrix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Feels old, man, doesn't it?
Dude, right?
That's what I say about the original Star Wars trilogy or the original Star Trek movies.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's very true. Okay, well, without spoilers, give me a couple things you liked and a couple things you didn't like.
Visually, it was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Almost too good.
Yeah.
There was definitely stuff that they could have left rougher.
Interesting. Okay.
And not necessarily in the in the actual characters themselves, but you know, little stupid visual things like and not to be spoilery, but even in the title sequences when you're flowing through the titles.
Yeah.
It was just too clean.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough. I understand what you mean. Okay.
The story itself, I liked.
Oh, good.
It's hard to get into without getting spoilery.
Sure. I understand.
there was a particular performance, one specific character
Okay.
that was a return from previous series
Okay.
um,
I
that
mean,
I thought was just bad.
it's not a
That I thought
spoiler
was
to
just
say who it is because they've already said who they're playing. The two
uh,
returning.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Okay.
I did not like the character at all.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. Okay.
like the,
Yeah. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, visually, what a treat. Auditorially, what a treat. By the way,
Mhm.
clap, clap. Kudos to the composing team, as they did not have the original Don Davis returning for the score, which has been a complaint of mine when we have continuations of things 20 fucking years later that we don't have the original composer or whatever, or they don't use the original themes or whatever. And we had all of the original themes, and it sounded like a Matrix film. And I've listened to the soundtrack.
Yes.
Fantastic job on the fucking score, because that's one of the things. Like the Matrix is like, again, going back to the original trilogy, it's a whole package. Like it's visuals, it's acting, it's CGI, it's music, it's sound effects. Like it's that bubbling cauldron of, it's got all the things.
But you better love White Rabbit.
Right? That too. So I was pleased that the score was not adversely affected by having a new composition team.
Sure.
New to Matrix fans, not new to Lana Wachowski fans, as they've worked on her. They worked on Sense8 with her, which is a fantastic TV show, and they worked on Cloud Atlas, actually. So, very glad to see that was intact, because usually, you get a new composer and they do something different that's kind of similar but not good.
Right. Well, here's my vision on it. No.
Yeah, that's not what I want. So yeah, I mean, I liked the story. My couple of problems, which are not spoilery. I thought the climax was weird.
Yes.
And like just abrupt. And I was just like, what? And I'm a Matrix super fan, by the way, folks. Like, we're talking all the video games. While I didn't play the Matrix MMO, I sure shit watched the story YouTube videos and all that sort of shit. I'm a Matrix super fan, boys. And I, in my Matrix super fanness, at multiple points throughout this movie, I was like, hold up. I don't understand what I just saw or what was just explained to me. And I don't know whether it's because I'm supposed to be remembering something from one of the movies or from one of the ancillary Matrix lores, or if the movie just didn't fucking explain it to me right. I could not.
Can you get into that without being spoilery? Because I never really felt that.
I don't think I can get into it without getting spoilery, specifically with the new actor who is playing Morpheus.
Okay.
I was utterly bewilderedly confused as to the circumstances in which there was this returning character played by a different actor.
There were a bunch of returning characters played by different actors. Now, weren't there?
3 that I can think of. But yeah, and then like there was that thing later in the movie with that one person when they're next to the well, and there was that deep cut back to the Matrix 3, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant, but also, damn, that's a deep cut. So yeah, like, it's so weird because we're definitely not getting another one. It has been stated in every red carpet interview by Lana Wachowski. No, not doing another one. Didn't even want to do this one.
Right. Which I thought was very funny that there was a fourth wall break, basically explaining that.
Hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I've heard that exact fourth wall break talked about in an interview by her years ago. That it was like, yeah, studio's talking about doing a Magic 4, talking about doing it without me.
Right. And to literally call out Warner.
Right? Yeah.
In the movie.
Insane. I do have to ask, though, did you stay till after the credits?
Yes.
Okay, so you saw that there was that thing after the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because it's ridiculous. Another thing that I didn't feel completely landed for me, which might be missing out of other people who saw this as from the Matrix formula, so to speak. I didn't think all the action was super great. Now,
yeah, the fight choreography was definitely lacking.
Now, I say that knowing full well now that it's been stated in interviews that they had their kung fu fight team from the Matrix films for half of the shoot, and then COVID happened, and then at some point they were like, we don't even know if we're going to continue shooting, and it's just going to be this weird unmade movie. And then they did, but they couldn't have that team because obviously it was a Chinese fight choreography team. So then they had to get other fight choreography people for it. And I think in that specific sense, and we'll probably look back on this in history as this is a specific example of when COVID royally fucked a movie in this specific regard, because some of the action is what you have come to expect from the Matrix and looks fantastic, and then other stuff looks like, and that's pretty much how I felt on some of it. As a whole, I'm pretty glad it exists, actually. I would rather have this than not have a fourth film.
Yes.
And I think, especially for me, I fucking loved the fuck out of everything that they presented about the what was going on in the real world. I loved all of that art design. I loved everything that was happening there. I was like, oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that's fascinating. Ooh, that's brilliant. Oh, wow. Oh, I was just like, I was gobbling that shit up because I didn't expect. That was like the one thing in this movie I wasn't expecting, that there was going to be like something oh, shit.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Well,
okay, so
you fixed it.
Since I was ragging on you earlier about having technical difficulties and me not ever having any, it was only
2021
fair that,
said, "Fuck you."
He said, "Fuck you." Yeah, for the hard cut that the audience won't hear. Yeah, apparently, if I bang into my desk too hard, which apparently my knee did, it shifts my video card enough that it disconnects from Windows. Doesn't turn off my computer, doesn't do anything, but all my monitors go blank.
Well, this feels like the perfect opportunity to flex my zealot muscles, knowing full well that there's a gaming PC 1 inch from this mic. It has just stuffed to the gills with stuff. You know, Nate, you wouldn't have that problem if you had an integrated system on a chip computer.
What do you mean? Your GPU is not integrated.
On the Mac it is, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you have a Mac. When was the last time you gamed on that thing?
September.
Tell me your Steam. Yeah, tell me your Steam library on your Mac.
September, when I loaded up Overload to see if it would run on Mac under
Yeah, but no, that badass gaming computer you have is the same pitfalls because I don't have a whole lot of cards on this thing. Everything is integrated onto the board except for the GPU.
Hmm. I mean, in fairness,
I mean, even my hard drive it's an M2. It's
sure.
supplanted onto the board like a stick of RAM.
Yeah. No, I know. I see my two M2s and
So.
my PC right over here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was just trying to be old Tim for a minute, who didn't have a gaming PC and who would just snobby nose sneer at your unfortunate circumstance of shit falling out of your box.
The sheer girth of my GPU and the weight that it entails makes it that it's in a precarious spot if shocked the right way.
I mean,
no, it's something I need to unbury my
sounds like something you need to fix.
my whole thing from the cubby hole that it's in, and then take off the case and reinforce. There's probably a standoff that the original manufacturer didn't put in.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, we basically, I think where we ended up on the Matrix Resurrections is I liked it. It sounds like you liked it, but it is also flawed.
It is very flawed.
So yeah, so take that for what it will. Stream it on HBO Max. Although I would say might also be worth it to see it in theaters because it's a big film. There's a lot of shit that happens.
There is a lot of shit that happens.
It is not small in scope, that's for sure.
They did make ample use of that Unreal technology.
You know, I can't wait for the behind the scenes on this film, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm legitimately curious to know if they did use any Unreal technology in this film, because I looked at the special effects credits and I didn't really.
Unreal was specifically thanked.
Yeah, do you know why? Other than the fact that they have this amazing tech demo on PlayStation 5 and Series X right now. Because one of the game designers in the background next to the Game Award is Donald Muster, who's the creative director for Fortnite. He was literally in the fucking film.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. As funny as seeing the Video Game Award in the film.
Right.
Like, what? Very wild. So what else have you been partaking in entertainment wise as we try to get this show back on the road in a somewhat untimely fashion, since we always run long anyway?
Right. What run long for us is over 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, probably. That's about right. But that's what we're at now.
Like
so,
anyone that caught the last episode, we were just under 2 after edit, and I was shocked.
Right? And we did Game Awards. Like, there was so much to talk about.
But that's all we did. That was basically the video game topic for 2 hours.
And I loved it. Again, maybe that should be the Fork New Year's resolution.
More video games, less bullshit?
I guess, yeah.
We could probably combine 2 of the topics together. I don't know.
Oh, God. What kind of
mad
co-host powers are you drunk with?
What? I'm not a mod. I'm the antivirus. That's all I am.
I said mad co-host, drunk with power. You just talked about combining 2 topics on the show.
I'm just saying. If you wanted to give video games more airtime and not have us be, 4+ hours.
I mean, maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll table that discussion for now.
We'll table this discussion for this year.
Right. We'll put it in the Discord and let the focus group.
Yeah, the focus group who doesn't talk about us.
Right.
Okay, it's a great idea, Nate.
But yeah, no, I just finished I finished Hawkeye.
Oh, nice. How'd you like that?
Right. I really like that, but it also has some issues.
It does.
But it was very, very entertaining. Like every minute of that entire series, there was not a point that I wasn't amused or entertained.
I think Haley Seinfeld is wonderful in this role. She's so energetic and feels like the character and just brings it to life in a way that's just lovely.
And see, I don't have the comics as a reference, and I
Well,
still find her
and
character endearing.
See, neither do I, actually. In fact, my only reference for her character is her appearance in the Avengers video game as the first new playable character. And she
Okay.
was very similar in that, although she was doing some time traveling shit to try to get Clint Barton away from fucking evil Hulk from the future or some shit in the Avengers game.
One of the
you know.
pods I listened to that went into her character, it's just like it's been rehashed, reiterated on, and it's rife with because comics.
Mhm. You don't really need to explain it other than because comics.
Right.
Yeah. Now, the spoiler thing in the final episode. Did you were you excited about that, or how'd you feel about that particular big thing? Winky nod
Which big thing are we talking about here?
of the villain variety.
Oh, I think that was actually pretty obvious from I think episode 3.
Mm. Now, were you? I'm trying to.
But again, I have podcasts that broach the
Sure.
subject, so
Now, were you familiar with that villain from a prior
no.
television series?
No.
Okay. That's unfortunate because that
Right.
particular actor just fucking chewed the scenery, defined the role. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and everything that I'm hearing, that was the giveaway. Was the one voice line was everyone went, yeah, that's D'Onofrio.
I was trying to dance around it, Nate.
Yeah,
As you just
no,
as you
it's-
just
it's
say
been
it.
long enough.
Jesus.
It's been long
Okay,
enough,
fine. Fair enough.
and it's D'Onofrio. That didn't spoil who the character is. If you know who the character is, you already knew who the character was.
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
Well, I think it was interesting in an interview that he stated,
I know him from Full Metal Jacket. As,
right?
Private
Isn't that
Pilot.
crazy? That's the dude,
right.
Right? That's insane.
That's basically all I know him for, and I know he's been in a bunch of other stuff.
There's been a fuck ton of other stuff.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me was that he said recently that Kevin Feige said that his character is the very same from the prior series.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh, that's even more fascinating.
Which is not a Marvel property at all.
No, you're wrong on that.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
it is.
It is. But there was some shenanigans with deals at that particular time when that series occurred.
Okay.
That's all that was.
Okay.
But yeah, no, very, very interesting that it was. He said that Feige told him it's the very same character, and your character just blipped during the blip and had to start back at the bottom, so to speak. So anyway, that's
Okay.
cool. See anything else?
Nothing that you would care about?
Oh, I see. Nothing I would care about. Are we not friends?
Have you been following any season of The Masked Singer?
No.
Okay. Do you have any interest in following the Masked
Well,
Singer?
it's like a celebrity, right? Generally.
It's a talent show where celebrities mask up and sing before judges and try to outlast all of the other competitors before being unmasked.
Yeah, I can't say that it's super high, if at all, on my radar.
Sure. And I didn't. Hence me going, not that you would care about. It's
Well, I was trying to be
a
nice
small
about it.
guilty pleasure of mine. I've been watching it since the first season. Apparently, Ryan Reynolds did this show was born in, I want to say, South Korea.
No, of course it was.
And while he was out there for a premiere either of one of the Deadpools or one of his other movies, he made a special appearance on their version of this show.
That's insane. Sounds like something Ryan Reynolds would do, though.
Right. So it became viral, and next thing you know, the United States picks up and says, "Hey, we're doing a Masked Singer here." And yeah, for the most part, it's like, there's talented people on there. There's some people that are just absolutely, they're there for the comical value. Like Rob Gronkowski, a tight end for the New England Patriots, now Tampa Bay Buccaneers, went on there and kind of made an absolute ass of himself for the Yuck Yucks. And they get thrown off early. There were a couple this season that I was legit surprised that stuck around that didn't get voted off immediately. Larry the Cable Guy is a legit good singer.
What? That's crazy.
Right? Yeah, now that I've seen it, I can go back and watch the episodes that he was on and watch his performances, and you would have never guessed that was Larry the Cable Guy. Rob Schneider also had performances on there, and it was just like, okay, and they legit tried. They weren't just being asses of themselves.
Fair enough.
Whereas I think the season prior, who was it? Machete.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, went on there and was just kind of a parody of a character. Sure. And the only reason he survived was there was someone else that was even worse than him.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Like this season, they had Honey Boo Boo and her mother do a duet, and it was bad.
Okay. Well, fair enough. So me and the wife, we wrapped up Witcher season 2, and the show we were actually watching just before this show was we just wrapped up the final season of Lost in Space. Final season Lost in Space, solid, really good, really fun, good wrap up.
Those are both Netflix, right?
Correct. Both are on Netflix. My only complaint is the same fucking complaint I've had about Lost in Space the entire fucking 3 seasons is the ludicrous something terrible is happening, but we're gonna have a heart-to-heart moment while literally people are dying.
Sure.
And that it happens maybe quite a lot in the last episode. And it's like, they gave you the solution to the problem that is really bad that's in the finale. And instead of doing the solution right then and there when they tell you to do it now, we have a 2.5 minute heart to fucking heart. Are you shitting me? Like, I can't, like,
no.
What?
No.
Absolute insanity. But I really enjoyed it. It warmed the cockles of my heart. And then Witcher season 2 was really good and much more straightforward than the first season, which a lot of people complained is all over the place because it literally takes place all over different parts of time. And you kind of don't really know that until about halfway through the first season. Season 2.
So Lost in Space, the character Diane.
What?
The character Diane. Are you familiar with her?
What character in Lost in Space is called Diane?
Diane.
Yeah. Again, which character in Lost in Space is called Diane?
The character named Diane. Apparently she was in all 3 seasons at some point in time.
Okay. And?
Used to date my brother.
Okay, I guess I gotta look up fucking Diane, whoever the fuck that is in the TV show I just watched. I'm just gonna...
Yeah, she's been in 12 episodes throughout the entire series. I thought she was only going to be in the first couple.
Diane.
But yeah, apparently she made it all the way through all 3 seasons.
Where's this other picture of her in the fucking wiki?
Amelia Burston.
Okay. To IMDb.
Whoosh. To IMDb we go.
Whoosh. Noise. Okay. I mean, her main pick. I mean, she seems... Oh, she's in Defiance? Okay. Have you met this person?
She was dating. She's in my wedding photos.
Oh. Okay. I mean, is she nice?
Yeah. She's an absolute sweetheart,
Okay.
and unfortunately, it didn't like the story between her and my brother. It was more the career paths didn't mesh more than anything else.
I gotcha.
So she's an actor. He's a game developer. You're kind of
Yeah, those are very different. Well, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Just crazy
Yeah.
fun inside baseball.
right. So there you go.
I'll have to
You are three degrees away from Lost in Space now.
okay. Well, my
Whatever
bit
the
of
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
my bit of thing to share on that would be then you ever watch Stargate?
Mm-hmm.
You ever watch Stargate SG-1?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the stunt double for the main dude, the main guy,
Mm-hmm.
is apparently in my father's side of the family. And
Okay.
I know this because Dad met him at a family reunion, of course, which was one I wasn't at, and had to do a double take because he's a huge Stargate fan. Was like, what? And then he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. He was like, oh, what do you do for work? You look like super familiar. And he's like, oh, well, I'm like a stunt double in a little sci-fi series called Stargate Atlantis. And then he's like, what? I watch that all the time. Bring me back weapons and props, please. So that's a thing. But I've never talked to him or met him. So that's the only 4 degrees of separation I got on that one. So yeah, Lost in Space, Witcher, those have primarily been the things that we have binged because of Christmas and time off and stuff like that, which has been kind of nice to actually binge a show because let me tell you, with the schedule my wife has been keeping, I don't binge shit.
Yeah, the only reason I haven't been binging more shows is kids.
Yeah.
I have to be very careful about what I watch because if they walk in the room while I'm watching something and it is not on the level with them, it's got to get turned off. And even something as simple as like, Lost in Space, it's not horribly violent.
I mean, it's PG,
but it's got moments of suspense. Is a big thing with my girls right now, and it's the weirdest thing. Like we were watching what is the Disney Ron's Gone Wrong.
Oh, I saw a thing for that, and that seemed weird.
Right, it's a cute movie, but at one point in time, they're going to throw Ron in a crusher, and my daughter's like, "Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off." I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "He's gonna get crushed." I'm like, "This is the Ron that the movie is named after.
Sure.
He's not getting crushed, honey."
Yeah.
And she goes, "No, I'm scared." And I let it persist where Ron got saved, and she goes, "Oh, you're right. Ron didn't get crushed, but then another
thing got crushed.
Robot got thrown in the crusher," and she goes, "But that thing got crushed." I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
It's got to be a phase. I don't have kids, but talking about
it totally is.
My good friend Jay, his kid who's now a teenager, who by the way is in Antarctica right now. That's not a joke.
No.
Because why fucking not? Of course he's in Antarctica. So his kid Max, we went and saw Kong Skull Island, and the monsters didn't scare him, but there's a helicopter crash that's pretty violently real, and that scared the shit out of him. And of course he's a teenager now and doesn't give a shit about anything. So they're phases.
Well, yeah, because giant apes don't exist, but helicopters fly over the house all the time, and that's like the weird stuff you've got to think about.
That is a real
right.
That's a real parallel, I guess you could
that's
consider.
The kind of shit you got to worry about when you've got little kids like that. It's like, oh yeah, sure, no, giant monkeys will never come. Like no one's ever seen a giant monkey in L.A., but a helicopter flies over a house at least twice a week.
See, but like, I juxtapose that to Brock's kid, whose name is Jay, not to get confused with the adult Jay, who's a friend of mine. whatever. People are named Jay.
Jay and Silent Brock.
Sure. He didn't do any filters on his kid. He grew up watching Predator, and in fact, that's how I heard about Maneater, was because when he was here for Christmas for a bit, was because his son likes animals and dinosaurs and stuff, and shark. He just thought it was awesome that there was a man-eating shark, and he's 7, so there's a little bit of an age gap there compared to your girls, but still, like, he never has had stuff restricted per se. The way
No, and we don't either, but we've been reminded that they will let us know when something is pushing that limit. And right now it's been suspense. Suspense is not sitting well with them.
Interesting. Okay.
Who knows why? Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Like they Finding Dory was fine with the squid chase and everything, but Finding Nemo with Bruce and the sharks was not.
Weird. Well,
Right.
Speaking of kids movies, because nobody wanted to fucking watch it with me, I brought my mom over, and we dared, and we watched Home Sweet Home Alone, the new Home Alone movie from Disney.
I wanted to watch it, but again, kids.
I think it.
I don't need them getting any ideas about tying paint cans up to the door jambs and knocking me the out, because they've already broken my brother-in-law's nose.
Yikes! Fuck that.
Yeah.
So, Home Sweet Home Alone is an odd little movie. It is simultaneously the best Home Alone movie, apart from the first 2 Macaulay Culkin films, because the other Home Alone movies are all fucking direct-to-VHS garbage.
Sure.
But
why does the main kid look like the main kid from A Christmas Story?
a little bit. It's like a fatter British version. But it's also like kind of a parody of Home Alone in a weird way.
Okay.
But also it's canonically a sequel to Home Alone. Because like the home that's being broken into has McAllister security, and there's a scene in the movie where the literal actor who played Buzz in the Home Alone.
I was gonna say Buzz is in this.
Yeah,
movie.
he shows up as he's like a full blown cop in this one, and there's a hilarious scene with him, which I'm just gonna say because nobody's gonna fucking watch this movie. Is where like so first of all, it must be said, I say it's a parody because the kid's actually the bad guy in this film. Like, what? And then the villains are parents who are just trying to get back a thing the kid stole that they need to sell so that they don't have to sell their house before Christmas.
So it's Home Alone meets Goonies?
I wouldn't compare it in any way, shape, or form to Goonies, but I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't really fit in this context.
Okay.
And there's a scene where the parents, because they're not crooks, they don't know how to crook, but they're attempting to crook anyway because reasons. And like they're like trying to break into this kid's home, and the cop comes up and it's Buzz and it says McAllister, and there's a whole big like moment and stuff. And it's like, oh God, and stuff. And he's like, oh, what are you guys doing? And they like pass it off and stuff. And then he sees that the home says McAllister security. And then he says to like the precinct, like, never mind, it's a false alarm. Every friggin' year, my brother Kevin calls in a home robbery at one of my parents' security companies because we forgot him 2 times at Christmas. Trust me, this is a false alarm. You folks have a nice night. And he like takes off, and it's hilarious. It was a fantastic scene.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's weird because it parodies Home Alone 2. Like there's a scene where they're like crooking and something heavy slams into one of them, and they're
wait, parodies Home Alone 2?
No, it parodies
Home
Alone 1. And like something hits like the crook, even though they're technically the good guys. and like they're like basically concussed, but then they're playing the like somewhere in my memory like to comedic effect, and it's like, huh. And then there's other lines that are like directly taken from the movie that are then either twisted or shat on. And so in some ways, I'm going to dare to say it, it's kind of brilliant. But that being said, it's also a Home Alone movie that feels like it started as Home Alone on the Hallmark Channel and then went to Disney Plus with a bigger budget.
Okay.
So that's it was kind of enjoyable. I'm gonna say it, but it's also not completely great either.
Fair enough.
So there was that.
I mean, Home Alone has been beaten to death.
I would argue this was the most honorable entry in the, at this point, far too long Home Alone lineage.
Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously there's my big kahuna, which is I've seen Spider-Man No Way Home twice.
Because of course you did.
Yes. Went opening night in IMAX with the wife, which we almost didn't make because.
So I'm going to ask this
go for it.
Off the top. What did your wife think of the movie? Because she's going to be more objective than you are.
Here's the thing. So she's not a Spider-Man person. She is a Marvel person. She says, and I had to tell her to keep her voice down because we didn't want to spoil anything being the loud people talking out of the movie. My wife is very loud. She says, no hesitation. She said it was the best superhero movie she has ever seen in her life.
Okay.
That's what she said. And she's not a Spider-Man person like I am. And I was like, oh, damn. She's like, I don't even have the words. It was perfect. And I was like, damn. And to which my immediate response was, I fucking loved it, but I have some hardcore fan niggles about certain things.
Sure.
Because it's me.
And because it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, there's going to be some niggles.
No,
about it.
I wouldn't say they're niggles because it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. If anything, it felt the most unlike prior Marvel Cinematic movies. Because for my money, twice of it, it was the darkest Spider-Man film I've ever seen. While also being the funniest, while also being way more cinematic, and having better fight choreography that put it more like the prior Spider-Man films that were not in the MCU, which I thought had better cinematography and fight sequences.
Okay.
And then,
but again, remember this was made during COVID.
I mean, but still, even with that, like the fight scenes in this were fucking fantastic. They're like might be the best fight sequences in Spider-Man movies. And then the other thing that really blows my mind, especially having seen it twice, is like there is not like any particular major point in the film where I could poke a hole in the story and go, okay, we did this because reasons. Like everything is so well thought out and everybody is given time to shine and scenes are given time to breathe, which is interesting because I like the MCU Spider-Man films, but something that I would say is a critique of the first two is they're like relentlessly frenetic. And there's definitely that freneticism, but there's also like sweeping like shots of cinematography for like emotional moments, and there's scenes that are just let to breathe and like be like a good scene and not just quickly jerk to, okay, well now we're doing something cool in MCU over here or whatever, which is honestly really refreshing. Like it's so wild because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and it blew away my expectations for what the film would be ultimately. Like seeing the whole thing in unison, and not just, every fucking rumor on the goddamn planet.
Right.
And just like there's so much heart that went into this film that I feel like it's so funny because it's directed by the same guy who did the first two. And honestly, if I didn't know what I know as being a hardcore fan, I would be like, oh, this is directed by a different dude. It's just got such more style, more grace, more I don't know. It's just got more poise, I guess, as a film itself.
Sure.
And something that's interesting to me because I went back and forth on this, because something that I had really wanted was for the score, which is done by Michael Giacchino again, who's a brilliant composer. But we've known for a fact now that we have many returning villains from prior different universe Spider-Man films,
Right.
and they all have iconic themes, like, and the composers who came before Giacchino were fucking legends. You had fucking Danny Elfman, you had James Horner, you had a fucking Hans Zimmer, and so
There's
like,
a reason I love Giacchino, though. Like, you and I have had that conversation. Like, if there was a person that was ever going to pick up the mantle for John Williams.
Yeah, I definitely think he
Right?
has the chops, but I have a critique on Giacchino, because you can hear this in his scores between Doctor Strange and the Vulture's theme in the first Spider-Man film, and then the Star Trek theme, because they're very all three of those themes are really fucking similar.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I am happy to report that Giacchino goes out of his fucking way to not repeat himself, other than the fact that Doctor Strange's theme is in the film, which is like, okay, well, obviously Doctor Strange is in the film. Of course, we get it, but so when I first watched the film, my one critique was like, I felt like more of the original themes of the villains should have shown through. And what I felt at my first viewing was that he exercised remarkable restraint using the original villains' themes, specifically Doc Ock and Green Goblins.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Electro's theme is very iconic from Hans Zimmer. And when I saw the film the first time, it was like, okay, it felt really subdued and restrained. Like I heard them and I was looking for them, and then when I watched it the second time after, I was thinking about the film for a week, I had listened to the score on its own. Seeing it a second time, I was like, okay, no, actually, I think he chose correctly in doing a subdued version, like very lightly.
And that was something that you and I both praised him for with taking over some of the iconic Williams roles.
Sure.
Was doing them justice without riffing on them, right? Having that restraint to go, I'm recreating this sound.
Yeah.
I'll throw my little flair onto it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to completely recreate someone else's vision.
Yeah, I think the best thing that I could say about the score, having had many opportunities to analyze it, particularly with the Green Goblin theme, which is iconic from Danny Elfman, is that there's notes of that, and then it evolves into something unique that's on its own.
Right.
Which is cool. And then on the topic of the Green Goblin, I'll just use that as a segue. William Dafoe deserves a fucking Academy Award for this film.
I've heard. Yeah.
Holy shitballs. my jaw dropped so many fucking times with every time he was on the screen. You know, and it's been well established, you know, since the Spider-Man films, you know, William Dafoe is a fantastic fucking actor.
Right.
And it just seems like, because now that I've seen a bunch of interviews with him, you know, he was really adamant that he got to also do his own stunts in this film. Because he said that was a big thing for him the first time playing Green Goblin, was that he got to portray the physicality of this monster.
Right.
And I tell you, I'm not even, you know, I'm not even joking here. The Green Goblin is the most terrifying villain in the MCU. Like, I was like, damn, he could give Thanos a run for his money right now. Like, what the fuck is happening in this film?
Okay.
Like, the level of brilliant acting on screen from William Dafoe as his triumphant return to Green Goblin 20 plus fucking years later,
Right.
is staggering. Like, and it's crazy because we have all these other villains that have returned too. You know, it's no spoiler to say that, you know, we have Jamie Foxx as Electro, we have Hayden Thomas Church, which I wasn't even sure the actual actor was in the film, but he is. As Sandman, we've got Rhys Ifan as Lizard, and we've got Alfred Molina, of course, super iconic as the one
Right,
and
as Doc
only
Ock.
Doc Ock.
Yeah.
You know, and they had to, you know, de-age him up and stuff because the dude's 70 now and doesn't look like he did 20 years ago.
I heard the de-aging of a previous Spider-Man didn't go so well.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna say stuff. Spoil it.
Just say yes or no. I'm not giving any.
Well, you just said previous Spider-Man, so you're asking me
Sure.
to confirm whether or not there are or are not other Spider-Man in this film.
Are there?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay. We'll leave it
What
at
I
that.
would tell you though is if there were, there wasn't de-aging used on them.
Okay.
So that's what I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like you're gonna have to fucking talk to me after the show just so you can hear my actual thoughts, because I genuinely don't want to be that guy on YouTube that has the whole fucking last 30 minutes of the film posted on YouTube.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
You
fair,
know,
fair.
And I only know this because I recently watched it again last night on YouTube from somebody's fucking handheld footage. I'm just like, holy Jesus.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, really.
I can probably find a better pirated version at this point.
I'm sure you could. There's no way this is not the most pirated fucking. I mean, it's made $1 billion in a pandemic. You know, no movie has done that. You know, the last movie to make $1 billion was fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, and that was right at the start of the pandemic. So it's not even, you know, it's not even a competition.
All right, and this one just blew away basically all the Marvel records.
It got within 10 million of Endgame's opening weekend. But as far as
during a pandemic,
that's okay. But yeah, man, like No Way Home is really just a magnificent treat. You know, there's people saying, I think the director said, this is Spider-Man's Endgame. And I was like, that's pretty big fucking words to use for your third Spider-Man film. Come on now. But he really fucking meant it, you know, and the fact that this director feels like he leveled up 20 times in his directing skills for this film, and that he's going to be taking on the new Fantastic Four film. I'm super excited for whatever he's going to do for that. Since I'm sure he'll be given even more creative latitude, you know, since we've had some misfires on the Fantastic Four already in cinematic history. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about Spider-Man No Way Home. It is fantastic, and the cameos that you may or may not be aware of in the film are fantastic, and the level of Easter eggness. Something I said to other Spider-Man fans who hadn't seen it when I saw it opening night. I was trying not to be spoilery. So this is for everybody listening out there who is a Spider-Man fan. I would say it is the most Spider-Man-iest Spider-Man. And I don't mean that with any sort of yes or no as to whether or not there are other Spider-Men in it. I mean that in its story. Like, it feels like I was like, oh, yeah, of course Spider-Man would do this action. Of course Spider-Man would reach this conclusion. Which may sound kind of dumb, but there's even a little joke nod to the Reddit people who dislike this version of Spider-Man, who always call him Iron Boy Junior or Iron Man Junior. And there's a literal joke in this film that makes fun of him being Iron Man Junior. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, Marvel knows. And it's so exciting to see where this will happen, what will happen next with this character in the MCU. So I'm stoked. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. And is there anything even to talk about in technology?
It's progressing.
It's progressing. I got a new controller and a new headset. That's
yeah. You got a new controller, new headset. I'm still enjoying my my Galaxy Z Fold.
That's right.
Phablet phone.
Yeah. I would love to. You know what I haven't done? I have not played with one yet. I would probably just play with the hinge part endlessly. I would probably be very fascinated with it.
It's whenever because I'm I pull out the phone and it's thick like a brick.
Yeah, it's a biggie boy.
And yeah, it's a fat boy.
Yeah.
And people see me pull it out and they go, "Oh, okay, what are you doing?" And I go, "Hold on, let me read this." And I as soon as I pop it open, you see him go, like they literally have that look of, "The hell just that? What just happened?"
Yeah, flexible panels, man.
Yeah, it's great, and the screen is holding up. The screen protectors are not.
Right. Okay.
But I am a unique use case.
On that note of folding phones, I did watch a Marquise Brownlee video. It was some weird name I've never fucking heard of for a cell phone, but they have a folding phone that's like the Z Fold. But its big claim to fame was that it's waterproof. And so he took a look at it and took it apart and stuff and was like, how the fuck did these guys make it waterproof when Samsung hasn't? And
mine is waterproof.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's IPX9 rated, so I could I go deep sea diving with it? No. Could I fall in a swimming pool with it? Yes.
Well, regardless, the thing that I'm reporting from Marquise Brownlee was that this other weird brand name of folding phone, what they had done was they had air activated gaskets. So when it was submerged, gaskets form based on the air to liquid ratio, which I thought was rather fascinating. The only problem with that is that's like a single use thing.
Right.
So fantastically keeps the thing, but also
it's like a car airbag.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's like a car airbag kind of situation. But I just thought it was kind of clever and whatnot. So yeah, technology, it progresses. So yeah.
Do we have it? Oh, I'm scanning through the Discord.
I don't think I posted anything.
ARM64 dev PC for Windows.
Oh, that's important.
You like trolling me.
What do you mean I like trolling you?
That's old.
But it's important because there hasn't been a dev PC for Windows. So that's just that's important. I think I said it.
And Windows 11 has been I want to say it's been an abject failure so far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
most people are not
every other Windows, right?
Yeah, they're just like, no, 10 works fine until you take it away, until you force my hand. I'm not leaving because 10 works very, very well.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah, we don't even have much in the Discord other than Burning Wing and
new phone.
his new
Yeah,
phone.
shout out to Burning Wing and his new phone.
Right, he's got a much easier phone title to tell people.
Instead of a McLaren, whatever the fuck
What was it?
there's a fucking McLaren something. Was it a?
I'm looking for it right now. Where
he
was
said
it? The
I felt bad because I didn't see when he typed it because I've been kind of not on socials lately, and so I was
my
trying
old
to.
OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren Edition. Thank God that's the last time I'm saying that.
Jesus Christ, what a name! Holy, that's ridiculous. I would feel bad saying that in conversation.
Right. Kind of phone you got there? Oh, it's the OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren Edition.
Wow. Okay, but can you
Excuse
say
you?
it 3 times fast?
No,
Come on, Nate. You did it once fast.
no, no. Especially towards the end of a podcast.
All right. Well, this probably brings us to the end of another overly long episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast.
Hey, with the break, we're at 2 hours and 58. So once you edit it down, we're going to be probably around 2.5.
How are we at 2 hours and 58? I'm at almost 4 hours on my recorder.
You know, your recorder tends to add an hour for whatever reason. I don't know what it is.
Well, somebody's lying.
Yeah, it's not me.
Okay. Well, so going into the closing out 2021, moving into 2022, what were a handful of the best things you experienced in, our usual categories of 2021? And what are some things that you are hopeful for or wishes or something for 2022? My final thingamajig. Maybe we can do it quickly. Maybe not. I don't know.
Wow.
Too much stuff?
You threw that
Yep,
on me?
I did.
2021 has been a I don't know. It's almost the hero's journey. Like we're on the upswing, right? Like it feels like we're fighting back. We're trying to come back and do things that we missed out in 2020. And yeah, we're still taking it on the chin. But the fact that things are still coming out, we're still getting epic movies, we're still getting epic video games, we're still getting all these franchises that are moving forward, television productions. The fact that you're still putting indoors this entire year.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm still doing my job says that we're still punching up.
That's fair to say. That's fair to say.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, God, what a fucking crazy year. I mean, I got sick. I went to the hospital. I got shotgun wedding married. Halo Infinite actually came out.
Wow, way to tie it back into the show.
I own half of a company with my best friend, and we have not gone bankrupt. In fact, we're doing better financially than.
Yeah, one day we'll have to go into the memoirs on that one.
What do you mean?
The whole story leading up to where you are now and the family struggle that it was to obtain the business.
I mean, it was
I know a lot of that's been behind the scenes.
I don't know. I feel like I said a lot on the show.
You have.
I mean, it's just been a bitch and a half. But now that's over, and we're in the black, and we're happy, and we're healthy, and we have gainful employment, and
you're a married man.
I'm married, and I think the target list for next year is wipe out the last credit card debt, Wipe out the IRS debt.
Mhm. Post another year in the black.
Yeah, I mean that'd be obviously nice.
Mhm.
And I need to either fix my truck or fix my truck, get it repaired, and sell it. And then I would like to have my own vehicle again. That would be nice because I don't presently.
Fair.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of stupid when you're an adult.
You would think that,
Yeah.
but I don't think I actually had my first. I think I got my first 0-mile car
Oh yeah.
when I was 34,
Cool.
36 maybe.
So
Was the first time I got a 0-mile car.
okay, fair enough.
So
Well, that's right in my age range. So
yeah.
God, I'm trying to think of anything like super sucked this year that I like that even stands out to me.
Now, I mean, this whole year had a haze of suck on it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
for anything to stand out, like I didn't lose any family members. I didn't lose any well, I've lost a couple of second-degree friends. So I've had friends that have been
Hold up. What?
kind of feeling that.
What's a second degree friend? Explain this.
A friend of a friend,
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
right?
Interesting wordage on that. Okay.
So, yeah, I haven't lost anyone in my life to any, John Madden died. He was 85.
Oh,
Like anyone that knows who John Madden is, it was,
shit. Speaking.
we literally thought he was replaced by an animatronic about 10 years ago.
Shit. I do have to say this now that you brought it up. I totally fucking spaced on it. So last week, my grandma on my dad's side went in the hospital. And
Grandma, we just did birthday for?
No, the other one, the one I
Okay.
haven't seen because Canada.
Okay.
And then they were told that she didn't have long to live, and she's apparently still alive right now. And that was like a week ago. So, she's gonna go at any time, probably.
But 90 what?
This
many?
one's 90 like 7.
Yeah.
So it's it is
Not
it
that
is
I'm not
time.
sympathetic, but
Yeah, the
yeah.
other one just turned 90, so there's
right.
and is in much better health comparatively. But I guess it would be dumb and remissful of me to not mention Grandma Trotter and to wish her well, even though her body is failing her, and gonna go. I'm trying to remember what that's from. What was that thing? See you in the next dream or something like that. God, what is that from? That's from some media thing I watched recently.
Oh, I have no idea.
Remember.
Yeah, like I lost my last grandparent early this year. And again, 99.
I mean, Jesus, if you're almost triple digit, that's a good fucking one.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm sad that he's gone. But
sure.
Yeah, you've gotten more time than most people.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And truth be told, I think somewhere around 91 when we went and saw him before his senses started going, he was just like, I'm ready to be done.
Yeah, that's how my grandpa was on my mom's side.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm fucking on oxygen, smoking a cigarette, and I'm only living off of Sprite and Nilla wafers. Like, I'm ready.
Right.
Fucking.
So,
like, whatever, I guess. So.
But yeah, other than some second degree friends, like I haven't had anyone affected by COVID, or I've had a few random friends of friends that were like, oh yeah, had a heart attack in the middle of the night. Which, the older you get, the more that happens. The more people it's just the odds are. Guess what? Sometimes you go to sleep and you don't wake up.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
It's very true. But and then I don't know. Like I guess for me, like it sounds stupid, but I guess the bright spots really are married, still afloat financially, doing
And you've got this amazing podcast with
doing
me.
well in a business.
And you have this amazing podcast with me.
Halo Infinite came out. Actually, you know what is a highlight? Getting to meet you in the real. There you go.
That actually was.
Take your fucking win. Oh my god. Stop hitting the yay button. Christ. That was definitely a highlight. And also we squeaked that in between the grandmas and the work and like all the stuff, and you had stuff going on. The fact that we even had any time at all, to even do something more than just a hey, hello, and goodbye.
Right.
Was a miracle. We'll have to do it again sometime whenever someone is up in each other's neck of the woods.
Well, you said you're coming down to Disneyland soon, so
well, next year,
right? So at a minimum, at the
are you
absolute
near
minimum,
Disneyland? I don't know.
a couple hours.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll be there a week, so we'll have to make an
Right.
evening of it or something. Okay, that sounds good. Although we might be going down sooner if Jessica's grandma decides to finally die. I say finally because they said like 3 years ago she had like a week to live, and she's like,
she's pulling the red fox, right?
Yes, I don't know. I've never met her, so I don't have any opinion one way or the other. My job is to just be a dutiful husband and support, and probably meet her grandpa. I've talked to her grandpa on like an Amazon Echo call and stuff like that, but hard to say since I've never experienced their old Californian life that they left because it was terrible.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. I guess another thing now that I think about it again, my main man Jay, who did give me this Mac Mini computer that we're doing the show on now, really couldn't have done a lot of stuff without his assistance. Not just this year, but over the years. He's just a really, really fucking good dude, and I constantly feel bad that I can't do more as a friend for him. But he's like, you fucking building yurts and going to Antarctica and shit. So I don't know. Like, what do you fucking do with a person like that? I don't know. Like,
you give him a 20-pack of Sterno, so when he's sitting in his yurt, he can actually have some
no, he's got fucking solar panels and the fucking stoves inside and shit. He's already got all that shit. There's nothing to be done. Like, the dude has his life on lock, apparently.
We should all envy him. It's like he's living the best life.
I mean, it sure seems
out in
like
the yurt. Right.
Well, the yurt.
We're all worried. We're all worried about our social media presence, and he's just like, am I gonna get enough sun to heat my yurt tonight?
Well, the yurts are here, but I don't know. I saw some Instagram pictures from Antarctica, and I was like, the fact that there's Instagram pictures from Antarctica is ridiculous to me. But also at the same time, it's also like, dude, people don't go to Antarctica like that. Like, that's crazy. He took his family, his kid, his fucking 14
he
and
brought the whole family.
Yeah. They had Christmas in Antarctica. I have no idea if he's back yet because he had to charter a boat to get down there.
Yeah.
Fucking
not a lot of runways in Antarctica.
Right. But I saw a picture and is happy and stuff, and I was like, that's crazy. That you you not only get to do that, but then you get to share that with your family. And his kids are still young, so it's like people will be like, "Oh, where'd you go? What'd you do for Christmas?" Like, "Oh, I went to fucking Antarctica." What?
Right.
Like, no, you're lying. Like, nah. Like that's just
Here's the
cool. You get to go
pictures.
someplace that nobody goes, like on the planet. That's the most remote fucking place you could possibly get on the planet.
Like I remember that shit when I was in elementary school. You'd get back for the first day of the school year. What did you do over the summer?
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah. So here's this guy. Like, yeah, I stayed in Antarctica. Here's the pictures on Instagram with my dad.
Mhm.
Like,
It's insane. In a good way,
But yeah,
though. Obviously.
I can't be mad. Like, I would love to be able to do that. That's one of the things that if I don't regret anything in my life,
Mhm.
because things happen for a reason. But now that I'm more in control over those things, um, I would like to give my kids a more worldly view than I did.
Sure.
And I had a pretty worldly view. I had a countrywide view, but I would like to give them a more worldly view.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something he's doing. Because he's been to fucking safari in Africa and Dubai
Mhm.
and all these fucking places, and it's just like, that's like, I don't know, it's cool.
You can't buy those memories.
I mean, obviously he bought the ability to the memory, but yes, the memories you can't. I know what you mean. Can't put a price on it, man. I get you. But yeah, so yeah, no, shout out to my buddy Jay and meeting you and
watching you become Mr. Mrs.
Yeah, which is exciting for you for some perverse, probably fetishy reason. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm legit happy for you. Like, just watching you over the last whatever 3 some odd years that I've been a fan of the podcast. Never in my lifetime did I think I'd be co-hosting this thing.
Well,
and yet here I am.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's wild when you think about it like that. That's for sure.
Right, and it wasn't like I was secretly sliding into your DMs every week, going, "Hey, I'm a big fan."
No, it's true. You didn't do any of that stuff whatsoever. I don't even remember how you came on to begin with.
Me neither. I think it was just one of those in the Discords, and you're like, shoot, someone dropped out last minute. Anyone available?
Yeah,
I'll take anyone.
I definitely have done that a lot.
Sure, right?
Because that happens a lot. Like, in podcasts, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah,
it just happens.
And honestly, that's kind of how I got my feet wet in the whole podcasting game.
Yeah, now you got fucking graphics cards falling out and recorders and setups and shit. You have like your own multiple podcasts and whatnot and shit. Which reminds me,
I'm on 3 podcasts. I'm guest hosting tomorrow on another podcast. I'm actually, I'm being sought out as a guest on other podcasts.
Oh wow!
Right?
I mean, that's cool. I don't get that. I don't ever get that, which is ridiculous because I've had so many people on this show. But whatever.
Right, but you don't get in the Discords and in the communities like I do.
No, that's true. You're definitely a more communal creature.
That's where that is. Yeah.
And I like communities, and I like the community that we have. Maybe that should be a fork New Year's resolution. Let's really fucking grow our fork Discord family.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, it'd be cool if we had like participation.
Again, I am part of a bunch of great communities, and just watching them grow around each individual. Either in the case of the mental health one, around that charter, with my clan around that particular content creator, with Fork. We got our listeners in here, just engaging and talking about stuff that would be awesome.
It would be fantastic. I'm
Mhm.
just not good at that. I'm not good at getting people randomly in. So I don't know. We'll have to
Sure.
do some figuring on that. I know there's like some places to like post discords. I was looking at them like a while ago, but then I got busy and I don't know. I'll have to look at them again, I guess.
Yeah, you'll just have to throw a Discord link in the show notes if you don't do it
I
already.
mean, I do.
I actually don't check our own show notes.
I do. So, and it's always on the website. So,
Yeah, but nobody can find it because they're always typing in Dynamicworksproductions.
Well, maybe if you fucking sweet talk me, I'll fucking redo the goddamn intro for 2022. Fucker. Jesus. God, you're so demanding as a co-host. I mean, Jesus. But the fact that you laugh as much as you do on the show tells me that you're having a good time.
Always.
So,
I would not keep doing this if I wasn't having a good time.
well, that's good. Well, that makes one of us.
Oh, wow. All right, so I'm soon to be the only host of the Fork in Your podcast. Not author, not podcaster, Nate K.A. Fu.
Wow, even appropriating my middle name. That's insane. That is insane. Oh, gosh. Well, I've raised my glass like 6 times during this whole thing, but we kept talking, so I guess here's to 2021, and here's to another wild ride in 2022. All the good and the bad that it will inevitably force upon you and me.
Cheers, my friend.
Indeed. I don't have anything to clink. I'm going to clink the glass case on my PC with this. That was so fucking unsatisfactory.
It's not the same, is it?
What is that? Are you a plastic cup?
Plastic cup on my mic.
That's horrible.
Thankfully, I have this.
See, that's good. See, that sounds solid. That sounds manly. It sounds official. You know what I meant to do? Like last weekend, I think it was. No, not last weekend because that's Christmas, but the weekend before that. I saw you went live on the Whiskey Podcast. And I was gonna join, and then I don't know, I got stuck somewhere. I was doing every time you're doing that fucking show, I'm always doing an errand. I don't know why.
Yeah, and you know what? That's much like you said here. We're having trouble with my brother-in-law and I. I'm sorry. I'm going to promote something else I do. My brother-in-law.
I don't know why you think that was never allowed.
It's bad form, if especially if it's not explicitly go ahead and promote your shit.
We have a promote your shit thing. We literally talked about it in this show on the Discord. Yeah. Fucking.
Okay, so my brother-in-law and I. This is where my stammer comes out. We do a podcast on a bi-weekly basis. We actually try to offset this one. Between this and my Guardian's mental health podcast that we actually haven't done in almost 2 months because shit got sideways there. But yeah, trying to get that to a point where we can schedule it and record it on a timely basis. We have an episode in the can. I am still not done editing it. And thankfully, we do the live aspect of it.
Okay.
So, if anyone wants to find us there, go to debuffdad.com. We have all the links up there. But, it's just such a pain in the butt. I feel for you. We get done with this. I go, oh, okay, let me just patch these files together and upload them to you.
I mean,
and when the episode didn't come out, you're like, oh shit, I completely forgot to edit the podcast.
Yeah, I do say that to you fairly regularly.
Yeah.
That is very true.
But yeah, that is one of those weird failings that we have as content creators when life gets in the way. Sometimes this stuff just falls off, and it's not because we don't want to give you guys content. It's just because life finds a way to
Make your GPU fall out of your computer.
make my GPU fall out of my computer and make me not be able to sit in front of my desktop and edit a podcast
Yeah.
and upload it to a Google Drive so that Tim can do his work to it.
Yeah, I think that's usually the thing that's like, I think it was the Game Awards show. There's some podcast I did with you recently, and I was like all set and ready to like edit it, and then it wasn't there in the Google Drive. And I'm like, fuck,
Right.
he's probably asleep right now. God,
exactly. And that was
damn
one
it.
of the shorter ones to put together. And you're like, dude, where are the files? I'm like, oh, here. Boom, click, 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 done, upload.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it goes. So it goes.
Good podcast host, bad podcast host.
Well, have we meandered and wandered long enough here on this outro? That's probably another fucking 30 minutes long.
22 to be exact.
Oh, okay. Well, if you say so.
So, at Fork Fam, it's been a pleasure hosting this for every single one of you. I am glad every single one of you that still listen every week.
Right? And the numbers
Yeah.
don't lie. We have lots of listeners.
Yeah.
Like that's always it's still the number one weirdest thing I think about this show, and I will continue saying it until it changes. It's like I've had famous shows before, and we have lots of people listening to this show, and just not a lot of people talk back, which is fine, I guess.
I'm
would
glad the
prefer
numbers
it.
say that I haven't killed it.
Yeah, that's true. Nate didn't kill it. I'm sure probably statistically, if we looked at it, there's probably a dip. We probably took a something, but I don't know. I don't chart that shit, so I don't know.
Right.
So,
Happy 2021.
happy. Well, no, wouldn't it be happy 2022?
No, happy 2021. And here's looking forward to a great
Oh,
2022.
right, because you're assuming that I'm going to get this episode out before the fucking New Year. Okay, I see how it is. Only if you get them to the Google Drive.
Oh, they'll be up tonight.
Okay. I'm not going to say what Nate said because I'm me and I do things weird. Have a great 2022, everyone who listens to this show, be it poor, rich, in Antarctica, or in a tree somewhere in Zimbabwe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm Tim K. Trotter. Of course, you can find all of my stuff on the website, whose title is Dynamicworks.com. Dynamicworks. Fuck you, Nate. Every time. I've been drinking this entire show, folks. It's 1:05 a.m.
www.dynamicworksproductions.com.
Yeah, there you go. You can find links to my book, The Citadel Arrival, by author Tim K. Trotter, available on Amazon Kindle and Apple Books, because they keep changing the fucking name on things on me, which is that is literally the most annoying thing about having anything in tech, is when the name of something changes. It's so stupid.
Let me tell you how many things we have with the Guardian's mental health stuff. We have QR codes to resources on other websites, and they revamped their website. And our link no longer works. It's like, hi, we have a link to your website. Can you make this work again? And they go, oh, right.
Yeah. It's silly, the things that people don't think about. That is for sure. Yeah, so you can check out my stuff on the website. And maybe I'll actually write another book this year. We'll see. I don't know. And maybe we'll grow Fork. And maybe I'll have a kid. And maybe it will be a good 2022. I don't know. Who knows? But all I do know is that 2021 happened. And at this point in the recording on December 29th to 30th, I survived it.
Oh, we are into the 30th at this point.
And I couldn't literally do this show. I mean, I can literally do this show without you, but I wouldn't want to do
would
this
not
show
be as fun
without you because I hate talking by myself alone. It's dumb. I'm not good at it. Like I don't even know how I'm gonna like do better at streaming now that I got this fucking streaming box thing that I'm gonna figure out.
Oh, I lament that, and again, for anyone that's still listening to this point, you can find all of my content. Just look me up on Twitter at GGN8FOO. Yeah, you'll find links to the Get Forked Pod, to all the shit that I do. But yeah, like I don't stream because like I don't like randomly talking to a microphone and going, so yeah, I'm going to click on this button right here and tell you something that you probably walked into 5 minutes ago and probably don't care about. Like, yeah, streaming is such a difficult thing.
Right?
I don't know that I have the personality for it.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I've been getting a lot of engagements when I stream on my boys' night, like on Siege. Like I had a notification that was like, "Oh, you got the highest viewers ever. You got 8 viewers on Siege," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, when I stream with my wife, especially when we're having a bad night, because her and I will bicker back and forth. Apparently, that's engaging, and it keeps people that come into the channel. That keeps them there to listen to me, basically, Ricky and Lucy.
Yeah.
Because my wife ain't nice to me.
Mine neither, especially when we're playing games.
Thankfully, she doesn't game with you on stream, and mine will literally tell me to get good scrub. Right? Yeah, I mean, there's blessings and curses to that.
I guess. I just wanted to play more games with me,
when my wife games with me all the time, when I want to stream, there are times that she is just like, I don't need to be on. And I'm not going to do a stream where I'm doing comms with her and her not be part of the stream, because that just sounds weird. Sure. I've tuned into people that have streamed, they're like, yeah, so, exactly. Who are you talking to? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to my party. Okay, can you include them in?
Yeah.
No. Oh, whatever. I'm out. But yeah, there's times that she doesn't want to be on, and like if I can find a moment to game, I like to game. I like to game with my wife more than I like to game solo.
Sure.
And that again is part of why I haven't been doing a lot of gaming.
Sure. Well, 2022 could be a different year for you, my friend. Fair enough. Alrighty. That is it. That is the last
Cheers, Fork fam.
show of 2021 for the Fork and Year podcast. Episode 122.
Holy.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of shows that are probably 3 to 4 hours each. Oh my God. How many hours is that? Somebody do math real fast.
122 times 3. So 366.
366 hours?
Yeah.
And how many hours are there in a year? I'm trying to break down the time commitment that's visible, that has been given from me freely.
There's 8,760 hours in a year.
Well, either way, 360 hours. That's a lot of fucking hours. And doubly so for editing. So that's insane.
Right?
I've given more time on this than I've played No Man's Sky on both PlayStation and Xbox. And that's insane to me.
I've given more time to this podcast than I've given to gaming this year.
Yeah, well, Who knows? Alrighty, Nate. I've been like slouching in my
Tim.
chair for like more and more as we've been talking. I just sat up straight for the first time in like 15 minutes. I got a crank in my neck
It's
now.
a good thing we don't do. It's a good thing we don't do webcams while we're
Well, I
doing
mean,
this.
I don't have a webcam right now, so
It's been an absolute pleasure to have done over a year of podcast with you.
why?
Thank you,
Why?
sir.
Thank you, good sir. And here's to another year of shenanigans, and who knows what else on this show.
All right. Here's the cheer sound.
That was a glass sound. That was not the kid
Yes.
yelling cheer. Yeah, there it is. All right. Good night and good luck.
Shazam.
Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival, by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Headphones.
Ooh, bong.
What is that?
It's me hitting my boom arm.
Oh, well, that sounds boom, army, and fancy. Yeah. Okay, sound designer.
Yeah, my one complaint about the new setup is the lack of shock mount. It's supposed to have internal shock mounting on the mic,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no.
Well, unfortunately, no audio upgrades were obtained other than a new pop filter for
Aw.
this year's Christmas.
I gotta tighten my mic down. Apparently, just give me a sec.
Go for it.
There we go.
Oh, good. That's nice. That nicely minimizes into that window.
No, that wasn't a happy sound.
That was a Jessica. Were you podcasting already?
You just
Yes.
somehow started a call?
Question mark.
Oh, does she want to?
babe? Yeah, it's okay. You can give me a goodnight kiss. Here.
I won't say anything.
She heard that. She's dying laughing now.
I hear that.
What?
It's all being recorded. It's okay. It's up to your boy to edit it out after this. It'll likely make the outtakes real, though.
Yeah, sure. You're now on the outtakes.
Awesome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, Nate.
Night.
Okay.
Worth it.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, that's off. Fridge is unplugged. Nothing.
Yeah, everything sounds good. I don't even hear. I'm not going to say it, but I don't hear the
Shut the fuck.
ambience that I'm used to.
It could be because there's about 3 feet of snow outside right now,
That is true. Yeah.
and we have had.
I watched the sports ball. Good thing we're not officially casting yet. But yeah, I watched the Seattle-Chicago game the other day.
Mm.
And because I'm not really a fan of either team, I was basically watching the Red Zone channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept, it'd flip back to the game when someone got in the red zone or a play was made or whatnot.
Sure.
And I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, wow. It sucks to play in Chicago. God, playing in Chicago's, man, like, this is such a Chicago game. And then all of a sudden I see it pan up to the sidelines and I see Seattle Seahawks and I went, no shit.
Cool.
Like, I'm not used to seeing that much snow on the West Coast.
Me fucking neither, especially this time of year. So like when we get snow is November, and then like in March.
Right.
Not for Christmas.
Yeah, and we're getting pounded by rain here, and it's getting, California cold.
Right, what's that? It's like 50?
No, it's getting into the high 30s
Oh, that's
at night.
that's
That's California cold.
that's cold.
But yeah, the highs during the day are in the 50s.
Huh. That's definitely very cold for you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a unique 27 degrees outside right now.
Mhm.
So it's pretty wild as far as Washington weather goes. And it said there's supposed to be snow flurries like 2 hours ago, but I'm looking out the window with more light than usual because there's snow. So everything is, it looks like it's like a red October sky right now outside.
Right.
It's just fucking snow. And I see no snow flurries. So I don't know what's up with that. So,
Well, don't complain.
I mean, I'm only complaining because I want to know, because I'm ready for it to be over. Just because I had a hard time getting to work and can't park the vehicles up because we have a stupid slanty ass driveway. The actual house is on a flat spot, but the driveway, not so much. So yeah, and
So it's either drive and slide or walk up, and hopefully you don't eat shit on the way up or down.
Well, yeah, and it's a narrow driveway with rocks on one side and neighbor's fence on the other, so I don't need any of that nonsense. Extracurricular bills. I already had enough of those this month and year, for that matter. I do not have a libation. This is what I'm realizing now. So hold on one moment, please. You're rolling on my end, but I'm gonna go get a libation, as you so lovingly refer to them as. 1 second. Okay.
All right.
Return. I have libation. Let us do a show and discuss whatever the fuck we're gonna discuss for the last show of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here. Got the ring. And let's do a good old fashioned 3, 2, 1. Cut
Get in. Oh, I'm still here.
Oh. But are we still rolling?
Yeah, we're still rolling.
Okay.
I was just hoping that would be subtle, that when we hit a natural break, I could do a quick reboot.
Okay. Yeah, do a quick reboot. Did you just switch to your phone or something?
No, I'm still on my computer.
Why?
Behind baseball here. Apparently, I bumped my desk the wrong way, and my video card dislodged for a second.
Oh, you can't see anything on your screen?
I can't see anything on my screen. I actually had to remote into with the VNC, remote into my computer.
Only you
to type that
would
message.
Remote into VNC when you could have just opened your Skype app on your phone. You
Right, but I was still connected to the call.
Oh man.
So
okay.
Give me just a second.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hard cut then. Hard cut?
That's hard cut.
Something's not right. Yeah. You can
Be
hear me
right
though,
back.
right?
I can't hear you.
Okay. Microphone's in the right thing. Your output is not in the right thing. Hang on. Okay, I just swapped it. Is that better? Okay, and then you gotta give me one more second because all my fucking digital plugs decided to not turn off all the fans that I have them programmed to turn off. That's turned off. Let me get the mini fridge. Okay. I didn't hear him say anything. He's welcome to. Yeah, I didn't hear him say anything. Well, while that updated, I fired up that Matrix thing on my Xbox. What the fucking shit, dude? I'm watching it right now. It's just running behind me. I can't tell what's real anymore. Okay, well that fire explosion looked pretty fake, but Jesus Christ, the people, the textures. Yeah, and then they started switching really fast between the old ones and new ones. Like, are you kidding me? Yes, I agree. Yana didn't though. Holy. Right? Also, what a fucking transition, too. Am I right? But man, what a technical showpiece. Yeah, go for it.